I don't know. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another. Oh, that's your job, Esther.
No, it's cool.
I missed you so much. That's why I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry, guys. I wasn't here. I was sick, and then stuff happened. Life.
We got that.
So, welcome, everybody, to another of the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Like us on Facebook and follow us, hashtag Just Enough Heshy on Twitter. You can see us live on YouTube, and you can email us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. And you can reach us here at 718-303-9090.
And they can talk about anything they want. They can ask us anything they want.
Anything, yeah. So, the main guy of the show, Heshy, let me introduce you. And so I can hear your quote, because I don't make fun of it. That's just Neil.
I know. Where is Neil?
Oh, I think he's sick, yeah?
My voice of reason. They were making fun of him yesterday and me on
Yeah?
the show, yeah.
It's the season to be sick. Everybody's sick.
I don't get sick.
Well, lucky you.
I
Tell me what you do so I can do it also.
I do fall apart, but what happened was the kids make me so crazy, so I get better. I get out of the house.
You don't have a choice.
But everybody, welcome to another edition of Just Enough Heshy Show, and I want to introduce my beautiful co-host, and welcome back, Esty.
Hey.
We had a nice young lady here yesterday.
Yeah, I heard.
And she was a powerhouse, and I invited her back. I wanted to come back on the show as many times as she wants. You would have been great with her. At least both of you would have attacked me and gone after me. You know what I mean?
You want us to attack you?
I would have beaten you. I would have showed you how much smarter I am. You know
both of us?
Yes.
I know you think women aren't as smart. I think they're double smart. So two of us, we would have beat you, no question.
Oh, I would love to see that. Next week, we'll see what happens, Esty. But we had to explain to her that the language on the air has to be more
censored.
Censored. No, more sensitive. We have to be careful how we say the words. Anyways, I'm going to start with my quote for the day, and here it goes. And I want you to understand that that things go bad. There are bad days, like my day this morning was right away in the morning. I woke up and I promised to meet somebody today, and he came late, and I had to go to an event this morning, a bris for a young couple that I know since they're little babies, and they had a baby, and I was running late, and then all day long it was good, and then the day got better, and then at the last minute, last 2 hours, problems come up, and you never know what happens, and it just rips your day apart. So listen to my quote. Forget about what others can do. Focus on what good deeds and kind words you can give and do for others.
It's a nice one.
Huh? You see? No argument, no funny eyes, no nothing.
It's clear cut. Be nice to people and don't suck.
Don't worry about what other people do or can do. If they can do more than you, focus on what you can do, how you can help somebody, even if it's just a smile or a kind word or help somebody cross the street. Last night when I got home after the show, I have an old lady that I always see on the block and whatever, and she says, Heshy, can you walk me to the door and carry my box? And she held on to me. We walked slow. I didn't have to do much. She thanked me. I don't even know for what, just to walk her maybe 100 or 200 feet down the block. It was nothing. It was really nothing. And these things make people happy. By the way, we have there's going to be an article on me in some Yiddish magazine called Moments.
Moments?
Moments.
I wonder if I've heard of it.
It's all in Yiddish.
Oh, it's actually in Yiddish.
All in Yiddish.
So I can't even read it or understand it.
Well, you and me, we'll take the article out. We'll try to...
And we'll break our teeth over it.
You and me, we grew up with these people. We should figure it out.
But reading Yiddish is so difficult for me to try and understand the way they put things. And it's not the fake Yiddish. Right. I can bet I can speak in Yiddish and everyone on the air will understand what I'm saying. You want to say?
Right. Yiddish, I know. We can
No. I mean, even the non-Yiddish speaking people will understand what I'm saying.
Oh, please. Anyways, can I tell you a joke?
Okay.
Because I'm starting to do the show with a joke, so I want to do a cool joke. And I think maybe some people might not understand it, so here it goes. There was an Indian chief. His name was Two Eagles, okay? And he was asked by a white government official. He says, you observed the white man for 90 years. The white man came and took over a lot of the Indian lands. You've seen his wars and his technological advances. You've seen his progress and the damage that he's done. The chief nodded in agreement. Says the official, can The official continued, considering all these events, in your opinion, where did the white man go wrong? Okay, with all what we've done, he's saying where we are. So the chief stared at the government official, and he said to him very calmly, when the white man came to this land, he saw the Indians running it. There were no taxes, there was no debt, there was plenty of buffalo, plenty of beaver, clean water. Women did all the work. Medicine men or doctors were free. Indian men spent all day hunting and fishing and spending time with their family. Then the chief leaned back and smiled. Only a white man is dumb enough to think that he can improve on a system like that. Okay, so basically, if the system is good, why not? Why keep messing with it? But
Because advancing technology,
right? I got you. But we did have wars. We had a lot of people
I
dying.
don't think it's better to be lazy and have machines do things for us. Like the thought of like having to sit at a desk seems not human to me. I should be like out there, making herbs out of the grass and like fighting bears or something. Like the sitting at the desk seems like it's an odd concept to me. Like we're used to it. We're used to just like this isn't living. We have to live.
You get out a computer, you order your material, it gets to a job.
The fact that we're getting fat proves this is not good for the human condition. We should not be sitting at desks. We should be out there fighting like survival. Now there's no survival. There's just like getting luxuries.
There's always been somebody sitting at desks, and we're going to talk about that because you went to Washington D.C. But in the meantime, tell us who's sponsoring the show tonight.
Yeah, we have Mr. Clean's Dry Cleaning. They do free pickup and delivery. If you mention the Just Enough Heshy Show, you get 25% off. You can reach him at mrcleandelivers@gmail.com or call him at 347-369-3051. We have the Black Label electronic cigarettes. You can go to blpremiumesig.com or call Mikey at 561-239-5941. We have Shlomo Schleppers. They do any side jobs that, there's no one to call. You can call them.
That's the name of the company?
Shlomo's Schleppers. Yeah.
I love it.
They do mowing, lawn care, bush trimming, leaf cleanup, branch cutting, weed removal, planting, heavy lifting. Some people, like, they don't have anyone to, like, literally just take a couch and move it, like, down the hall or something. Unless you have, like, a husband or sons. But if you have no one, you just need, like, 2 extra hands. Shlomo Schleppers does it. You can reach them at 1-877-SHLEPS with a Z at the end.
You got to tell us
right.
the whole number.
I know. 1-877-745-3779. Or you can like them on Facebook at Shlomo Schleppers.
I want to hear the number again.
Okay. 1-877-745-3779.
So they're like little handymen. They can do a lot of this little stuff.
No, but professional handyman, you'd call to, I need my door fixed. This is for like everyday jobs that some people just can't do. Like my friend, she just hurt herself taking out the air conditioner because she wasn't able to lift it.
Right.
So they would come to your house and do it for you. It's basically extra pair of strong hands.
Very cool. And they clean up your garage or take down your sukkah or
put it up, all that.
And what about Green Line?
Hold on. I just want to say that they're located in Passaic and Brooklyn. They're going to expand even so that everyone can have their services. Yes, we have Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, HPD, code compliance. They lift stop work orders, and they do free consultation. You can reach them at 718-871-0382. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. You can call in at 718-303-9090.
And you can just discuss anything you want with us in any subject. By the way, Esty, Z, I don't know, he put up some kind of a Facebook thing that he's traveling. That's our other co-host.
He's always traveling.
I know, but he's going somewhere that he doesn't want to tell anybody where he's going. It's a surprise for all of us. Did you hear about this?
It's like, I'm not holding my breath. Like, where is he going? That's okay.
He posts crazy things on Facebook. People can go. I think that's so cool.
But the thing is,
pick yourself up and you go.
Whenever I need to know what's going on, like I can't find any information, it's on his page. I don't know how he finds it, but you can always find on his page every information you need. It's kind of like Yeshiva World.
Right.
Actually, why didn't I look there?
By the way, so STA, we start off every show. We talk about different subjects, and I do have a very interesting story to tell people about the past. Something very a thing, but I'm going to hold back on it till a little bit, maybe in the mid part of the show. But I want to talk about something. Trump, Trump that everybody says is the leader, even though they're saying now that the number 2 guy, Carson, that you like, he has surpassed Trump by a couple of points.
That's great.
Yeah. Only in the Iowa
thing. Is
he
a conservative?
Trump, I would say, is conservative. He's
No,
conservative.
Carson.
Carson also, yeah, Carson. But you know what? The interesting part is there's a guy.
Is he very strict? Like I like Carson. I think he's very reasonable. I'm afraid he's going to be more on the strict and severe side, and that scares me also.
So I want to tell you something. There's a guy by the name of Senator Lindsey Graham. He's running for president on the Republican ticket.
Is that a new guy?
No, he's been there for a while.
What's his name?
Lindsey Graham.
It's a boy?
A boy.
I thought it was a girl.
Yes, he's a professional senator. Trust me, he's been around a long time. And he says that Carson, he was talking about Carson got on the radio and said when he was 14 years old, he almost killed a guy. He says Trump is crazy. So he says he doesn't understand the whole Republican Party that he has. He says, how am I losing to these people that just like look, Donald Trump, whose foreign policies is zero. He has no idea what to do with ISIS. And he calls Donald Trump, what was he believe so far, that Trump is crazy as hell, and Ben Carson once tried to kill somebody. So he says, these are our two front runners. He says, one guy, actually, Carson says when he was 14 years old, he almost went out and killed somebody.
What do you mean? What, does anybody have any embellishments on the story? Like what?
Well, Carson says he called it when he was a hot-tempered childhood, and he was on Meet the Press this Sunday saying that he would go after people with rocks and bricks and baseball bats and hammers. And when he was 14, he tried to stab someone.
Okay, that's like years ago. People change.
I got you. Okay.
And by the way, I
So
don't know
that's
who
what
this Lindsey guy is. I don't like him for the fact that he felt he had to bash his opponents in order. No,
but that's what they do.
Well, I don't like people like that. I'm sorry.
And he says that Trump has no idea. He's crazy as hell. And
it's so easy to just like yell about Trump, like, oh, is this? You know, we know what he is and what we'd be getting into. But I do not like him for pointing out, like, oh, this guy did this. That just makes you a petty person. I don't like him.
All over the radio today, Trump was all over the radio saying, you know what, I built my business myself. And they said, really? What'd you do? He says, my father lent me $1 million and I went to the city to buy property when he told me not to go because the other families are there, he meant the Jews, don't mix into the Jewish families. And Trump took his father's $1 million and started to buy real estate and build his empire. He says, hey, it was only $1 million and I had to pay my father back with interest. So he was like saying, look, I started with nothing. First of all, $1 million
is not nothing.
It's not nothing. And plus in the 1970s, $1 million was like 10, 12, $15 million. You know what I mean? So the man is a big shot when he was buying properties that
he wouldn't have been able to. You know who's good? I know you don't like Bloomberg.
If I would have bought a property for $1 million in the 1970s, today would be worth $1 gazillion, okay? Especially Midtown Manhattan. So
no, but see, that's what I liked about Bloomberg. He started by himself from square one. I heard that he had first like a little fruit stand. Then he bought up the next guy across the street's fruit stand, and he like started from the bottom. Donald Trump had things handed to him. He's a smart businessman, but
right. He used to pick up his girlfriend in his convertible.
I think at least 50% of people with $1 million, like to start off, they can get somewhere.
They can get somewhere.
So he's just one of 50%.
Well, the point is, he tried to tell everybody, "Look, I started with nothing." The truth of the matter is, but the truth of the matter is, he did build an empire, whether it was for $1 million or $10 million, and he did do a very good job.
Anybody can build an empire with $1 million to start with.
A lot of people I know a lot of people that you give them $1 million, they drink it away or drop it or gamble it away or buy back properties.
That's if they have the million. If someone gives it to you to invest, you don't drink it away because it's meant to invest.
Why? You see all those Ponzi schemes, Esty. People.
You don't have to invest in a Ponzi scheme,
but you don't know it's a Ponzi.
If someone gives you money to invest, you don't spend it on drinking. You spend it on making money.
There was a guy a couple of years ago. He said he's buying real estate. Even today, there's another guy.
Who did he lend money from?
He borrowed money from all his investors, and he said, "Listen, I'm buying property. I'm going to sell the property, fix it up, and you're going to get the money back."
And it was a Ponzi scheme.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I think there was a guy now that was just sentenced to like 6 years or 3 years. Also, was part of a $1.3 billion Ponzi scheme.
Do people not think they're going to get caught? Like, what are they thinking?
Well, they think that they're going to make it, or they're going to take part of the money and invest it and pay the people back. I don't know what their deal is on the Ponzi scheme. You know, I know a lot of guys who I remember a guy who went to jail. He came out and he cleaned up his act and he did a great job. And he stole like a $750-800 million. Okay, it was from our local community, and he got in trouble. And somehow he wiggled his way out, said, I made a mistake, you know, and even banks were embarrassed back then, like 10 or 15 years ago, to tell them that they were part of the Ponzi scheme. And then he started again, and everybody gave him money again. And people says, why are you giving this guy money again? Well, he messed up the first time, so he understands how he screwed up. So this time he won't screw us. And again, he screwed the people. And the second time he got 7 or 8 or 10 years. But again, the man
Twice? What's wrong with this guy?
Right,
And
but
who would invest in them?
and you know what? He's doing it again, and people are investing with him again.
Do people not know what happened before?
Well, people think now they're watching him better. They're more clearer on it. So, anyways, and of course, Hillary, hands down, has crushed Bernie Sanders.
What?
Yeah.
Hillary's in front of Bernie Sanders?
Crushing him.
If Hillary
She
becomes president, I'm getting a visa to any other country.
But you know what? Everybody keeps saying that. You have to stop saying that, because everybody says, I'm leaving the country. I'm not leaving the country. She is so
scary.
She's not scary. She actually knows what she's doing.
I'm sorry. She reminds me of my grandma.
So here it is. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton posted a huge lead in the new Iowa poll. And this Monmouth University survey gave Clinton an eye-popping 65% support among likely Democrat caucus goers in the state. Bernie Sanders, Clinton's chief rival, got only to just 24%, followed by former Maryland governor.
That's just Iowa.
Well, Iowa is the first place, and it's really Iowa is like the
like everybody follows what Iowa's going to do.
Follow, but it's like a marking, a reading of who's in lead and who's the next state that's going to follow up, and your name is more out there. A lot of people don't even know who's running in the Republican Party. They don't really care. They only want to know the front runners. And if your name is out there all the time, and all these surveys and all these people are gunning, and you know how to push your name out there.
What are they thinking? She screwed up so many times.
She didn't screw up.
Yes, she did.
No.
Okay, then.
Okay, many political observers considered these two events a success for Clinton, whose campaign limped through the difficult summer. Okay, however, there is some reason to be skeptical over Clinton's supposed 41% lead over Sanders. So I don't know. I believe that Hillary has her hands down, and this guy, Lindsey Graham, who I was telling you about, he's upset. He says that if Carson or Trump win the Republican nomination, Clinton will crush them. He believes that he can beat Clinton because he is a senator. He's a professional. He's a professional politician.
I'm afraid he's right, but I didn't know. I cannot find a single person who's pro Hillary, and if I do, I just convinced them out of it.
I'm just telling you right now. She's 65%, has a lead in the Iowa caucuses. There's a lot of people.
That's it. We're going to Iowa to protest.
I don't know about that. Protesting is not so good.
But yeah, either way, I don't like this guy. I would not vote for him. I'm like, between him and Hillary, I don't even know which is worse. I just don't like him.
Well, anybody, if you have opinions, 718-303-9090. I still am upset that this guy got $1 million Trump alone, even though he had to pay interest back. I didn't get no $1 million loan to go buy property, to hang out, to make profit, then to take out a mortgage. Like you said, the Monopoly game. And he was trained by his father, and he had backing of his father, and people used his name. That's why he was
if successful. I had, in those days, you said $1 million is worth like $10 million?
Yeah.
If I had $10 million right now, I can invest it. I wouldn't invest it. You invested in 5 different ventures. One of them is bound to take off unless you're a really bad businessman.
Why can't all of them take off? Why can't you be very careful?
But that's exactly my point. If you have a $10 million start, it's not starting on your own at all.
Well, he had to pay back the loan and pay interest.
I see. So you're saying most people can do this with a bank? A bank would never give out that big a loan, would they?
What they do, they give out many times. You have to have credit history. You have to have profit. You have to have property behind you. You have to have people to co-sign for you.
Stuff like that.
But Trump didn't have no issue. If he would have messed up, big deal. His father wouldn't have, okay, so you lost $1 million. But if you make it, you pay me back. Otherwise, I take away your property. So anyways, that's the story of this. So Esty, you told me that, first of all, anybody you want to call in again, 718?
303-9090.
You can talk about anything with us. We're not scared to talk about anything. I was listening to this guy Kobe and the guy from the Guardian Angels. What's his name?
I don't know what that is.
he like protects the people in the street, whatever. He was a famous guy in the 80s.
I don't know about it.
Okay. Anyways, so he says he was shot by Gotti and he survived, and he curses them out, and he's a man of the streets. You know what? His whole story again with Gotti killing him for talking bad on the radio. I hope it's, you know what I mean? Gotti ended up beating him in court or whatever it is, and he never ended up suing Gotti or proving that it was Gotti or something of that nature, or there was some kind of a deal. I don't know. He hates Trump. He loves Hillary.
No.
Yeah.
Hillary is she's conservative also?
No, she's Democrat. I mean, I would say she's also conservative in a sense.
Is she liberal?
She's liberal. Very liberal.
Really? She seems so uptight.
1 minute. She's for abortion when none of the GOP is for abortion, even though I think Trump would be for abortion. She's for gay rights, marriage, which I have no problem with. That she has no problem with. What?
Is she for weed?
I don't think she's for marijuana. Even though her husband did admit smoking marijuana in his younger days.
Everybody did. If you didn't, you were odd.
So that means you're talking Hillary smoked.
You know what? I would vote for her if she smoked. That would be fine. That would make me believe she's not as uptight and scary.
Why would she even admit to it?
I don't know, but she's scary to me. She's like a scary older person who would be like, "You didn't do your chores," and like
she's only 68 years old. She's not an older person.
I feel like she would like ticket us and charge us. I feel like she would just be so strict, and I'm terrified of that.
I don't know. I think that every president does that, and they all have to tax and fine us. And I don't know.
Okay, by the way, I was thinking about the speed limit, right? What is the point of cars if you could only go 25 miles on a highway like Ocean Parkway? It's not a regular street. It's practically a highway.
Ocean Parkway is not a highway. It's called a parkway, but the truth of the matter
why not? It's 4 lanes
through
going
residential streets.
No, the residential streets are 1 block off. Either way, 25 miles per hour, I might as well take a horse and buggy. I'm sorry. No, I'm serious. Why on earth do we have cars if we're driving so slow? It's ridiculous.
Well, in the city limits, you have to drive. You're still going faster than walking. You're still
25 miles an hour. I don't even have to put my foot on the gas. I'm sitting here. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I will never get there. And I'm literally, a bike can go faster than that, and a horse and buggy can go faster than that. Yeah. What is the point of cars if we have like a limit on speed?
So they figured out 30 miles an hour, people can control themselves. 25 miles an hour is very hard, and people go over the limit. And with all these cameras, they're giving more tickets.
By the way, now I never use Ocean Parkway. I do not drive down it anymore
because of the
cameras. It's ridiculous.
I got 3 tickets.
I just don't drive down there. I drive down McDonald, Ocean Avenue.
But then you're going bumper to bumper, light by light.
That's not true. Same thing. Ocean Parkway was the same thing with lights.
No, if you stick to it, it's still a major highway, and you're going bigger, longer blocks. And I don't know. You can make a few blocks at a time.
It's not worth it.
You went on vacation to Washington, D.C. recently?
I did. I've never been there.
And
I wanted to see stuff. And
Did you go see Congress? Did you go see the White House? Did you go?
I saw the White House.
You went in?
No, you can't go in.
Sure, you can go in.
You have to ask your
no
congressperson or representative.
There are local daily tours.
Yeah, but you have to make an appointment with your representative or something to be able to go through a tour. It's not easy.
Not true.
I'm telling you, we asked the guy there.
It
is not open to the public. You have to specially assign before a tour. There's like a thing. But we had people there screaming like with the signs about circumcision. They were like, their signs were not so clean. Like, I wouldn't repeat what was said, but they were just like, it was horrible. They were wearing like pants with blood. It was just horrible. Like, oh, it's ours. It's not the family thing. It's okay. It was just like really horrible. These people like holding up signs. I spoke to a guy from Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
And apparently it's the same like Christianity, except they don't believe in hell. So I'm totally pro that.
Oh, they don't believe in hell at all?
Yep. They don't think there's hell. They think that hell is the actual dying part. And I just thought it was great.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Anyway, 718-303-9090. Me and Esty are here tonight, and we're going to talk about a lot of different subjects. And you know what? Yesterday, the young lady that was on the show, she does matchmaking, and not for the religious community, for modern people. She listens to your stories, and she does a lot of hookups.
Cool. I got to talk to her.
You got, yeah, she's just for your age group, she says. You know?
Yeah, what's it called? So, no, I wanted to just go back to the Washington thing. So I went to see Lincoln. I really wanted to sit on his lap. Apparently, it's illegal.
No.
Yeah, are you kidding me? There's a security guard that says, you will be arrested if you cross this line.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see how tall the foot was. His foot, we were like, it's the same height as us. Nah, it's not. I really wanted to sit on his lap, but I guess it would get dirty, and I just really wanted to go on there. I was hoping, late at night, come back 4 a.m. Apparently, there's a security guard there all the time.
Oh, there is a security guard?
Yeah, but it's like I looked everywhere. I could see no cameras. And then, like later on, I was like, maybe we should just do it. We should just do it. And then, like we're walking, we see this tiny door and like slightly open. We're like, oh, thank God we didn't do that. So yeah.
But you took a picture over there.
Yeah, I did take pictures.
And what else did you? Where did you eat? Did you eat anything? Was there any food for you to eat over there in Washington?
Yeah, they had like kosher stuff there, but it wasn't Washington. We stayed in Virginia because it was like a 20-minute drive.
Wow.
So we just it was really cool. Like Virginia, Maryland, Washington. It's all. Do you know that Washington isn't a state?
Of course not.
So like
it's a District of Columbia.
Okay, but in which state does it belong in?
Well, they took a piece of they took a piece of, I think,
But
Maryland.
then call it a state. When you put in your GPS and it says put in the state, what state am I supposed to put in?
Well, you put in Washington D.C., District of That's what D.C.
Why
stands
District of
for.
Columbia? I feel like that should
It's a
be in
district.
Columbia.
But it's a District of Columbia.
Is it like originally it was in Columbia? Like why would they name it that?
That's what they did, Esky. I don't know. Very interesting. Somebody call in to explain it to Esky. 718-303-9090.
So yeah, I started this Saw You at Sinai thing, and I didn't pay money. Just like I tried seeing what it is.
What do you mean saw you at Sinai?
Saw You at Sinai. It's a dating site, and I was thinking.
You joined the dating site?
Yeah, I was like bored.
Did you get a lot of hits?
No, so it works as in you can't see other people's profiles, they set you up. And I was thinking, why is that a good thing? Wouldn't you rather just look at it yourself? But the thing is, when you see other profiles, random people message you, and I just don't have any patience to like weed out,
So you go into a computer with all your information.
And someone else sets you up. Now
so it's like eharmony.com. They find you the perfect mate.
Well, maybe I should try them. The thing is, you didn't pay. You can get one match a week without paying. And then they gave me like a free month to be able to have more than one match a week. I wrote down what I'm looking for. Someone who, will build empires with me or, not those exact words. And the people they're sending me are like nothing, like a physical therapist. I'm like, I would never go out with a physical therapist, PT, OT, speech therapist, because these jobs are for people who want to settle down, like have a nice little family. Like this isn't world stuff. This is like every second Joe does this.
Do they send you a picture of the other
person?
They
send you a picture and everything. But so I know the personality types, right? So I write them back. This guy that you sent me is this personality type. I'm looking for this specific personality type. Like, either way, they sent me someone I know, and I'm like, if they would send me this person who I know and is like so not my top type, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I tell them repeatedly, they have the personality types that only they can see. I can't look at it. I type them. I want this personality type. Please only send me this.
When they send you somebody, do they send you to that same person, or do you have to respond first?
So you can choose if you want the boy to first like accept you and then you accept them. But I would rather choose. If I don't want them to send something to the guy before they first send it to me.
I'd love to see the picture you put on your profile. What kind of a picture did you put on?
Yeah, same as Facebook. You know, actually, I put one with the radio headset on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. But either way, so far I feel like they're just sending people based on they're in my area. That's it, and my age. That's not enough. You have to actually. I mean, maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe people who. I mean, usually people go on a dating site to settle down. I want to get married to settle up. Does that
so
make
you
sense?
do want to get married now?
Only if I can have someone who together we're gonna do something. I don't want to just become like
are you gonna have
sucker mom.
Now when you get married, are you gonna have babies right away or no?
Probably not. I gotta get used to the idea. It still freaks me out.
To have a baby.
It seems unnatural.
Don't you want to learn? Can't you just read a book or watch a movie or something?
I've just watched TV shows where like you don't see everything. You see babies being born, and I'm like, I can't. I freak out. I'm like, this is not. I don't think it's natural. People are like, childbirth, it's the most natural thing in the world. No. It is not natural. Adam and Eve, I don't think they did that. What was it? One of the punishments they gave women was childbirth. I don't think they had real childbirth. I think it was completely different, and God made it weird and unnatural, and we just accept it because it's like, this is where babies come from, and nobody questions it. But if you think about it, it is horrifying. There's something coming out of you. Like if everybody got their baby from the stork, and then all of a sudden one woman had it in their stomach, they would burn her at the stake for being a witch, because that is not normal. It's inside of you.
Because if you don't make this baby, you're not going to love the baby enough. Yeah, I watched a movie about
it's weird and unnatural.
In the future how babies are brought. The babies are made in the lab, and the baby's brought to the family, and they take it, they love it, they raise the baby, and they try to fall in love with it. The point being is a lot of them give it back, or they get sick of it. It's really not theirs. They have to feel that it was them who made it. I think that was the whole point of God making babies come out of human beings.
But it's too weird.
To love some other person, there's no such thing as love. You and I know that. But to love a child is something special. Why? Even if they fight with you, like I told you yesterday, I was fighting with my boys this week. To love a kid or to forgive a kid because he's yours, even though if you adopted him, you're right, you actually grow the love. But you know what? Unless the child is coming from you personally, otherwise that's why a lot of people don't adopt.
There should have been a different way. I'm sorry, and I know there was, because this does not seem natural to my mind. It seems, you never saw those movies where there's like this thing living inside of you and they have to get it out. It's like some sort of alien. They have movies like this, but yet this is considered normal.
But that's not real.
Yeah, but if it's horror, if it's considered a horror movie in those films, and the difference between having some sort of huge worm
But
inside of you
there
and
is
a
no
baby.
huge worm in people. Come
First
on,
off, they
Esty.
do have a worm that lives inside of people, and they have to get rid of it because it's dangerous to you. They actually do. What happens? It's a parasite, and they remove it from the body. So
Okay.
here, it's technically a parasite. It's living inside of you. That's not normal.
Well,
But
everybody, a lot of
everybody does it. We accept it. It's normal. I don't care if everybody accepts it. It's still ridiculous if you think about it.
Esty, I was reading an article today that there's a place that there's a company now trying to find you homes where it's safer when the zombies take over the
No
world.
way.
Yeah, yeah. When the zombies take over the
Oh, by the way,
world,
I watched a zombie what to do in case of zombie apocalypse.
right? That's stupid. There's no such thing as zombies. People are not going to come back from the graves. They're
Oh,
saying hard
when
to.
we say zombies, we don't specifically mean from the grave. We mean, like, for me, I think zombies can exist. Like, let me explain, like, how it makes sense to my brain. Let's say dogs have rabies, right? And then they bite and they become rabid, they become crazy and just bite things in sight. Imagine somehow it would transfer to a human, and a human would go crazy and bite things in sight. And if it bit another human, that human would become crazy. So it wouldn't actually
Well,
be
it does
people from the
happen
dead.
if you have AIDS and you bite somebody.
Right. So if it was a disease of madness, then all of a sudden it would spread faster and everybody would go mad. That would be the equivalent of zombies. So it's possible, maybe not likely, but it is possible some sort of disease should get us, not like waking up from the dead.
Okay.
But they said the best thing to do is, I mean, they said you should not go on rooftops, and you shouldn't. Everybody thinks, oh, we'll just go to Walmart and get the guns and stuff. Walmart's the worst place because it'll be flooded with people. Don't go to a hospital again; it'll be flooded with sick people. And an island is a good idea, but then you can't get off of it in case zombies do manage to cross over. I had this all figured out. I
Oh
looked
God,
it up
Esty,
online.
yeah, you are.
Oh
Sometimes
wait, but
you
you know
are
what I was
wonderful.
thinking? I want to I would like to learn how to use chemicals to make like explosives. I cannot go online to look up how do you make explosives
Sure,
because
you can.
the government will come knocking at my door. Why are
Okay.
you looking to do it?
Well, you're doing it for a research paper. And why do you want to do that?
Because just in case of emergencies, and I don't have any weapons, I would like to know how to take cleaner and gas or something and make something explode. I would like to have a way just in case of emergencies.
I don't know, Esty. Very interesting.
But should I try it? Like, just Google it and see if the government shows up at my door? Because they watch everything.
So why don't you? I have an idea for you. Go to the library
And do it there.
and do it over there under another name.
They probably have cameras. They're gonna find me. They are gonna find me just for looking this up, which is not fair. I'm like an American. I'm not into terrorism or anything. I just want to be protected. You think they have courses like this? Basically, only chemists can do it. In the movies,
No,
it's
they have
always this
regular-
one
they have-
guy
they
who
have
knows how to
regular-
mix potions.
They have regular private people do it. I just want you to know. I want to go to a different subject for a second.
Okay.
You don't like sports, do you?
Not specifically. I like playing them. I don't like watching other people play
But
them.
the New York Mets,
Mhm.
New York Mets are in the World Series. Not that we really care about it. I'm not really a Met fan. I'm a Yankee fan. But the Mets are in the World Series tonight, and it would be nice for New York to celebrate together that we have a winning. It'll bring the whole town together, Jews,
Yeah?
Catholics, and everything.
I heard that today's National Beer Day. Does that make sense? Is that a thing?
I never heard that. Esty.
That's what I heard.
Esty, take a phone call.
So yeah, you guys listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show, you can call in at 718-303-9090. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Andre, and basically the Russian speak, and you are listening after Russian radio station, basically Jewish Russian speak radio station, and it's a lot of serious question about the Israel and everything else, When you're talking about some zombies and everything, this is exactly what happened right now with some invasion. Exactly the same, you're talking about somebody coming and do something like a stabbing somebody on the back in Israel right now, it's exactly the same what's happening right now, a different form and everything, but just preparation of the human mind.
Well, do you think all the Arabs have gone mad to kill all the Israelis? Is that what it is?
No, absolutely not. We have in Israel, and even some mayors of the cities is Israeli Arabs. And when somebody, even Jewish from the Jewish Senate, come over here and try make something against the Israel, he's kick them off from his city. It's not everybody. We have so many in Soviet Union or relative the countries really nice Muslim persons. But it's not only that. What happened right now, this is the total invasion in Europe and total invasion everywhere. And you know, we have some ex, like a helper of mayor of Jerusalem, the lady on the radio station, also that, and explained what happened. You know, they were like in conversation in a supermarket.
Well,
And basically, what not a Jewish. My wife is Jewish, you know. I could say something like that. You know, everybody have some problems sometimes, you know. Everybody. But what happened, you know? And it's a conversation in the supermarket in Israel. It's something like it's there so uh, feel
Yeah.
so bad in Israel. Why not they take that way like Syrian people doing or another one? Just go to the Europe. They have a compensation, additional help, and everything else. It's there so uh,
Yeah.
well, I
they
hear
stop
you.
on that, you know, just something like that, even like that. But you know,
Yeah.
the
It's
politics
pretty
there.
bad, you know.
Well, thank you for your call, and Esty, that's very interesting, Esty. You know, we have been talking about the Israeli problem over there, and he's saying that
No.
it's like a zombie thing. They've gone mad, but you know what,
First
Esty?
off, no,
4 million supposedly Muslims from Syria, Turkey, and all those countries that are under the migration. They're running into Europe. The Europeans seem to be taking them openly. The Europeans are
the thing is,
incorporating them into. You don't see them killing, murdering. You don't see them freaking out. Yeah, and they're
no,
living
I
in
mean, some
tents.
are good. I've smoked weed with Muslims.
Oh God.
Yes, I will trust any Muslim that smokes weed.
But the European countries are accepting the Muslims, and they're not burning or killing or stabbing or blowing up places.
But you know what it is? First off, I want to learn how to fight with a knife because there's a good chance that something, you know, eventually we'll have to defend ourselves against Arabs. And besides for that,
Why do you say that? I
okay,
mean,
because this is what I'm thinking, right? Um,
well,
okay,
Esty,
let's say France.
there were right
right?
now in the last couple of weeks there were 20 stabbings. Right, there were 20 stabbings
Mhm.
in America last year. How many we have? We have somebody being killed every 7 minutes or dying. Somebody dying
Yeah.
every 7 minutes. How many murders? How many stabbings? You know, I was reading an article the other day that they went into somebody's house and they found 10,000 stolen weapons, guns in somebody's house.
In America?
And right now, yes, somewhere in one of these
Stolen or
10,000 stolen or not.
no? But he was probably getting prepared for the apocalypse, and I think that's a good idea.
10,000 weapons
What
means
was
he was trying to hoard the weapons and sell the
he
weapons.
was selling them?
I don't know if he was selling them, but there was somebody ratted him out.
No, but this is the thing, right? Let's say France. French people, they have 1 to 2 kids. Arabs there have 8 to 20 kids. So think about this. In 100 years from now, do you think there'll be any French people left, or will we be overrun by Arabs?
You keep saying that about America. You keep saying that about
No,
Israel.
it's
you keep
true.
saying that about Europe.
Who has the most kids?
It's not true.
Besides Jews, yes, we have 20 kids. A lot of us.
Do you know
They're double, they're triple us, and they're having 8 kids each.
A lot of the Arab or Muslim people that come from their countries into America and become Americanized, they change. They become part of the environment, and they don't have 8 or 10 kids. They have 2 or 3 kids. You know, in their countries, it's different. Same way with Israel. You have a lot of the religious people who have 8 or 10 kids in their neighborhoods or their communities. Once they go out of their communities or they change, they don't have anybody. Esty, take a call. Oh, I should take a call.
Yeah.
What numbers do you want to push?
So,
okay, let's go. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy and Esty. Shut off your radio so we can hear you.
Yes. Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Yes. My name's Joseph. Hello.
hello, Joseph.
Yes. Hi. Hello, Mr. Heshy. I calling you second time. I thank you for taking my call. I'm also a Russian Jew, came a long time ago, and I want to tell you something about politics. There's nobody there that I can vote except Hillary. I'm sorry, but that's my feeling. And some situation I like her, not so different don't like her. It's just I think that there only one person who have a lot of votes and in White House. It's her and connections. You know, I'm a limousine driver, and I was talking somebody with the customer service, and she asked me who you gonna vote for. I told her because I'm gonna vote for Hillary. Okay?
What?
Yeah, but
No.
and I'm Jewish. But listen, hear me out, please.
Everybody in America have a different opinion. Second term of Clinton, second term after Monica Lewinsky scandal, all right, 90% came voting for Clinton, but Obama nearly 42%. You gotta ask your questions. Why is a black man in the president? Okay, because what? We don't have no more racial problem. How about a woman? Why not? To me, I want a woman to be president.
Me too. I want a woman to be president, but not Hillary. She made too many mistakes. She's been caught in a scandal more than once.
Excuse me. In the whole politics, the biggest mistake that they politics make is make your gay equal right. That's the most mistake they did. For what? For voting. They sold our right for voting. They make you as any man equal right. That's not normal. Okay? So the whole White House is not normal. And whatever Canadian politician was about Syria, it's because of America. What's happening with the World Trade Center 2001 because of America.
Let me ask you this. What about the other woman that's running?
Floria.
Floria Fiona. She's a woman. She seems logical.
Okay, fine. Listen, let me come back to the theory that I talked to the lady before. And she said, I only vote for Donald Trump, first of all, because he's spending his money. And I vote for Hillary because her back is covered with the big millionaires of people who sell her out. They put money. That's all it's all about. The whole politician thing because of the billions of dollars. Okay? The big people who's behind her. Jewish, okay? Italians, okay? Irish, Russians, Israel, okay? The big VIP people, okay? It's bet money on her to be president. That's it. Simple as that.
You're right, Joseph. Joseph, thank you for your call. You're wonderful. Thank you, Joseph. Good day. Do you know what? He's right, Esty, because Hillary, her husband, first of all, has a lot of connections.
She would be another Bush.
She would not be.
I see her and Bush as being practically the same people.
She has a lot of backing.
They have old-time views. I want new, fresh ideas. I don't need government the same as the last 100 years.
So, Esty, her husband was one of the most beloved presidents this country ever had.
That's what people are thinking, that maybe he's going to influence her.
Not only that, he had a surplus in
He got lucky. He was president in a good time.
What are you talking about? He had a surplus in the budget. He had no major wars under his time.
He got lucky.
Lucky?
Oh, you're saying he was just that good at making peace. He was that good at making money.
Policy. He was that good at making this country work together and hold hands.
You don't think if Obama was around in those times, he would have done a good job too? He was in easy times. The Cold War wasn't anybody's fault.
When he ran for re-election, he said, we have to build a bridge to the new millennium. And that was like a great saying. Building a bridge, we have to go from the 20th century and prepare the people for the 21st century.
Well, I don't think she's from this century. She's from a lot of centuries
I think Hillary's hip, and I think we're going to take another caller, Esty.
Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good, you?
You know what? I agree a lot, but this is, by the way, a third Russian call in a row. How do you like that?
Nice.
We like the Russians. Why not? You're all our brothers and sisters, no matter if you're Russian, black, or whatever. But Russians are good people. I like the Russian people.
Russian Jew.
I like you even more.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Listen, you know what? You guys on the radio. You guys have a big microphone. You say things, people listen, low information voters listen, and they think whatever you're saying is right. I agree with you, young lady, when you said about the French, they have what, half a kid or one kid or 1.5 kids on statistics, and then the Muslim family comes in and they have like 7, 8 kids. You don't need to wait 20 years for that country to change. No, I'll give you 5 years at the way it's going. It's going to be a big difference. And by the way, with this whole Clinton thing, that Bill Clinton was a great president and all that, like you said, he was at the right place at the right time. And that's why what happened to Bush is because of Clinton. And guess what's going to happen to the next president of the United States after this Hussein Obama is gone? It's going to be the same exact thing that Bush faced. When you say we're going to build a bridge, you know what that means? It's also known as we're going to give you everything you need. Just let's not offend, all that stuff. Not offending people, doing this and doing that. We live in a different world. There's no such thing as sending people or this or that. Look what happened by being nice to whatever, the homeless. They're all over the city. To being bad to New York City police officers. One gets shot every 2-3 months. And being nice to people like Al Sharpton. They'll never turn around and say, listen, what you're doing is bad. Or Obama. Did he ever come up all of a sudden a big press conference and said, listen, what you guys are doing is, something like that to protect, or at least say something good towards the police, towards all the riots and everything, all that crazy stuff that's going on. Never. That's what's called building a bridge. If Clinton built a bridge for a better, economy, if you want to call it that way, Obama is building a bridge for a better America. Good luck, you guys. We're all here. Hopefully, it'll never happen. But the way it's going, it's scary. I don't want to think about it. I really.
There's going to be another war soon.
I disagree with you guys, but thank you, caller. Where are you from? Which area in New York?
I live in Forest Hills, New York.
Queens, and a lot of your people, a lot of your neighbors and fellow constituents don't like Hillary or won't vote for Hillary.
Not that. You cannot. Hillary is Hillary. I don't think Hillary. She's only using the name Clinton just to become just to have some kind of an attachment to President, Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know.
I disagree with you on this. You are right. When she ran for senator, she used Bill's name, and when she ran for senator, and when she was in the White House and she came out to run for senator, her first lady, she did use it. But I believe you're wrong. People know the name Hillary Rodham Clinton.
I bet you, and all your listeners will bet the same thing. If Clinton drops her last name and keeps it as Hillary Rodham, good luck. And by the way, it's not, what do you call her? Fiorino or something? It's Carly Fiorino. You think you
Carly,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
But again, she's not. But Carly, what has Carly accomplished? You're right. She made a couple of $1 million. She made a lot of jobs.
What happened to change? Obama was all about change. That's why we voted for him. So now we're going to go back to the old way. Oh, change didn't work. Let's go back. No, it was the wrong change. If they have normal change, she is from the olden days. We want someone young who's able to do things.
We took Obama young.
Well,
and it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's because he sucked.
And how do you know Trump is going to be better?
Trump is not going to be better. We need someone reasonable, down to earth, and not arrogant and full of himself, which is what Obama was. I'm Obama. I'm the first black president. I can do whatever I want. That was his attitude.
I don't believe that.
I'm not saying I don't want a woman to be president. I'm not saying I want black president. Listen, everybody wants a woman president. What happened to Fiorina? Exactly. She was responsible for 30,000 employees. And guess what? Everyday companies nowadays, 20 years ago, 20 years from now, will do the same thing. They'll hire people and they'll fire people. That's what leaders do. What do you think Obama does? Can we blame Obama for all the unemployment? Of course the liberals won't. But listen, this is what he did. A lot of people are underemployed under his watch. It's the same math if you compare him to Carly Fiorina. If you compare any CEO.
I don't know. I think Obama has done changed ideas on healthcare, changed ideas on getting money on the budget. He's made sure that a lot of people have their rights are more respected, from the black people to the gay people. He is defending. He's fighting.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. God bless. I wouldn't say I'm successful. I'm happy with my life. But sometimes I have to watch my mouth and, I get, think about what kind of car I want to get next time. Because I get a too flashy car, people will think eventually that's where it's going. If you drive a beautiful, big, expensive car and you have a successful business, Obama is making people believe that and kind of pressure, it's kind of a message that if you're rich, you're bullied. If you have a beautiful big car, you're bullied. So you got to be equal.
Yeah, why would anybody? Why would anybody try to be rich if being rich is a crime? It makes you less. It makes you snobby.
What's wrong with it?
And we need to have rich people. Let everybody just work from the government. That's never going to work.
Exactly. Imagine if Obama really succeeded in everything he wanted to do. What do you think would happen to this country?
We would have been screwed.
We wouldn't be on the phone right now because I wouldn't have a phone.
I don't know. I mean, under Obama program, poor people get to have phones.
Stop it. We should not encourage poor people. You know,
what do you mean not encourage poor people? We should let them suffer, live in squalor?
No. Did anybody suffer under Bush, under Reagan? No. Nobody
no, hold on. Let me
there
just.
were so many homeless people under Bush and Reagan. So many
homeless
people
people are usually crazy. They're not actually homeless. I've spoken to homeless people. I've smoked weed with homeless people.
And
they are not all there.
And there are crazy people who live in apartments.
I've never met a sane homeless person. Never. The people who are homeless choose to because they're not all there.
I've met a lot of insane and homeless people. I've met a lot of people who are on the street who are intelligent, who just have down on their luck. They have nowhere to go.
I haven't met that.
And they don't know what to do.
Fine, but guess what they have? They have shelters. They have medication.
Shelters call it shelters that when you go in there, most likely you'll be robbed. You have to sleep in your clothing, or you can get even raped.
Listen, but
they have nothing to rob.
Food on your table. You have food on your table. If you need medication, that's covered. You have listen. You have the homeless nowadays and homeless 50 years ago are two different homeless people.
That's true.
50 years ago, people that were homeless, they were like, if I was homeless forever, I wish I could sleep in a warm bed. Guess what? It's available. I wish I could have food available. All these things are done. Nobody's taking it away.
I have a question for you, caller, and I want to ask you.
Are you changing the topic?
I'm not changing that. I want to ask you one truthful question. I agree with everything you say. Would you just one night? I'd like to see you sleep in a shelter and eat the food that they serve them, and you tell me that if you would ever do that again, in your life,
but it's not by choice. It's in a way it's by choice. You know what? I see people that were born in the United States, third, fourth generation, and they're pretty much like homeless. You got to stop and think. They didn't wake up one morning and say, you know what? The hell with you. I want to become homeless. No. It's like drip. It's like
It happens. People lose their job.
Like
they can't cover their credit cards. Yes, I've seen that. People can't pay their. 1 minute. People can't pay their rent. There was a young girl here last night. She said a couple of years ago, before she got married.
Listen,
1 minute. She got married. She had her house burned down. She couldn't. She had a depression when she lost all her items. She didn't have a job after that. She lost it because she got depressed, and her whole life went apart over one stupid tragedy. Somebody dies. A little kid gets. So people have issues that there's nothing you can do about it. I've gone through a very trying time myself, and not once, a few times. And what happens? You're right. I'm able to build myself up. I'm one of the lucky ones.
No, you know what it is?
Thank God that should happen. We're in America. Anybody that goes through that, we have so many different programs, so many different things. And I'm sure if my next door neighbor, God forbid, her house burned down and she knocks on my door, or even one of you, God forbid that happened to you. You knock on my door and you told me, listen, remember you called me once on the radio? Guess what? I am going through this problem. Can you please help me? Can I sleep in your business?
How long? How long would you help me for? 1 week, 2 days, a month, 3 months?
You know what? I think a normal person would not just close the door on your face.
No, this is what a normal person would do. They would help you, let you sleep on their couch, help you get a job.
Exactly.
But most of the times when people stay a month, it's because they want to take advantage. They want to just sleep in your couch, not get a job. Hold on 1 second. You know what? There was a sign in a park that said, do not feed the animals because then they're going to get used to it and they're not going to hunt for their own food. So we're not supposed to feed the animals because then they're going to learn that they can get food and they're not going to work for it on their own. But with people, we make sure to give them money and so they can become dependent on us. It's like animals will become dependent on your food. We're doing that with humans. They're becoming dependent on us because everybody knows you can get anything. Let me tell you this. If there was no food stamps, no anything, do you not think that we would have way more employment simply because people would be out there getting a job? Because they know if they don't get a job, they're going to starve.
Are you crazy?
It's too easy.
They were dying.
They would not die. They would not. In today's day, they would not die. They would not starve. They would get a job. Very few people can't get a job. And that's only the handicap. If you lost your job, unless you have a huge family, there is no reason you should be on any sort of support from the government.
Wow. Thank you, caller.
I agree.
It's not the government's job.
Caller, I just want you, I'm going to take your number down because if I get in any problems, I'll be knocking on your door saying, Uncle Heshy's here. Okay, you got it. But you know what? I would like to ask you a question. If one night I would like to spend the night in the shelter with you, and I promise you, me and you together, and I promise you, you and me will go home crying.
You know what? I work in a place where I service the homeless shelter through medication because I own a pharmacy and we give them the medication. You know what? Most of them don't even have insurance because they don't have insurance. Period. We step in, we go, we cover their medication, we give it. I see how they live. I get it. Sometimes I walk in there and it stinks. But listen, what are you going to do? It is what it is. At least it's warm. They have TV. They have sport. I know they eat
Hey,
like three or four
so
times a
is
day.
jail. So is jail.
I
Warm
get it, but
TV.
listen. Thank God they're in America. In Russia or somewhere else, they would have been out of the door. They would have been dead. Nobody would have found them.
Wow.
You know what
Thank
I
you,
mean?
caller. Thank you
You
so
got it.
much.
Take
Call
care.
again. You
Hey,
were very nice. You're
come to my
very
house and
interesting.
stop by.
Very
We'll
reasonable.
deal with
We
it.
will. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much. Happy. Have a good month.
But
Anyways, everybody, that he was very interesting,
He
Esty.
was very
But Esty,
reasonable,
you know
down to
what?
earth.
You
I,
you and me
you know what it is? Of course.
should go to a shelter and check it out one night, and I promise you'll come home crying and listen to the stories.
You know
We
what it is?
should
I
talk
know
to
this
some of
from
the people.
myself because for me, because I
Maybe
was
this,
handed everything, I would not go work
but
at
Esty,
Starbucks, which I would love to,
but
by the way.
Esty, maybe one day you and me, we go to a shelter, we ask people stories, and you will hear people's stories of crying and suffering and
You know,
so
I
on.
used to do that. I would see someone on the street, bag ladies, homeless, and I would go up, talk to them. I tried to help one out. You know what happened? I got super screwed over because she was crazy. She gave me all these stories, and I believed her. Oh, my last tenant, I had a job, and
Right,
I'm
right.
sorry, I don't believe the homeless anymore.
You're wrong. You're wrong. I know.
Everybody can do something. If they knew it was between them and starvation, they would do something.
That's not true,
But we
Esther.
know that we're not going to starve. We can get the money from the government. I'm saying it's great that we don't have any starving people, but it comes at a cost, as in
No.
people are lazier than they used to be.
Let
We
me-
expect things to come to us for no work.
I want to show you something. There's a lady. I want to show the picture to the camera. I don't know about you listeners out there. It was today's New York Post about a lady. She was. The police gave this lady a bum's rush. This homeless woman at the Lincoln Center subway station Monday on the MTA board complained to high-ranking New York police officials that the pack rat bag lady was turning the transit hub into an eyesore. So she had a lot of bags. I'm counting here at least about 30 bags.
Mhm.
She sleeps in the station. She hangs out over there all day long. You know what I mean? She collects a little bit of funds. And they said, you better move. What did she do? She put all her bags on a train. And where she went? She went packing on a train. Where did she end up? I don't know. Go to a homeless shelter. This is all she has. Look, she's carrying all her stuff on the street.
She's probably
with her.
crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Let me see. Do you have a picture?
Here's a picture. Okay, she's not crazy, Esther. She has nowhere to go. She's collecting bottles.
You don't get
on
it.
the street.
I've seen this. I've seen a woman who had this many bags walking around. I went to her house. You know what was in it? From the floor to the ceiling. I am not kidding. The entire room was stuffed with newspapers from the big floor to the ceiling. It took us days to clean out that house. I'm sorry. If you have this many bags, there was something wrong with them. It's called being a hoarder.
Okay.
Okay?
Esther,
This is not the problem we're
because
dealing
they
with.
want stuff to do with. Anyways,
This is not her life
Mayor de
belongings there.
Blasio got a failing grade Monday on his campaign pledge to reduce homelessness amid new questions over whether the city is undercounting the number of people living on the streets. During 2013 mayoral campaign, de Blasio blamed his predecessor, Mike Bloomberg, which I do as well, for policies he said resulted in the record number of homelesses. De Blasio vowed that he would not happen under his watch, but
That's it.
city shelters as of last week were crammed with 57,448,000 residents, not below the record high of 59,000 of December last year. And let me tell you, Esther, it's not even cold outside.
I want to meet one homeless person
Good.
that legit had a job, lost it, and literally lost their
Good.
house. Not they were
Good.
always homeless, living by their parents, a
I
little
want
bit
you to
off.
come with me. I
Fine.
want you to come. We're going
I
to go
don't
to the
believe it.
shelter. You and me are going to crash at the show. Maybe Saturday night when
I don't want to crash at a shelter. I want to find a person who's sane and
So
homeless.
you and me are going to go in there. We're going to videotape our conversation with these people, and I want them to hear the story. Anyways, everybody, you're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. Our phone number is 718-303-9090. We're coming to our half show break. So call in about anything, and I'm going to give you my quote that somebody told me that I plagiarized, but I happen to have not done it, and I want you to hear this one. And here we go. Gratitude. Okay, everybody. And Esty, you should be be grateful of what you have. Gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. So let me just tell you something. Somebody does something nice for you. Be grateful. Say thank you. You make that person so much happy. Somebody said today, "Oh, Esty, you do a great job." I said, "Yeah, I would like to pat the back."
The preceding program is a paid advertisement. The opinions and views expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of AM 620 WSNR or its management.
This is AM 620 WSNR, Jersey City.
Hello, and thank you for listening. If you like our programming and have ever thought about hosting your own radio show, we would like to tell you how you and your show can become part of our radio station. With today's technology, it is much easier than you may think. To find out how, please call FJ Hankel at 516-431-6662. That's 516-431-6662. Again, 516-431-6662, and learn how you can become the host of your own radio show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Just Enough Heshy Show. Yes, Norman, we know you're on hold, and we will get to you soon. We even have information about your videos. But, Esty, in the meantime, Esty, tell us about how to get in touch with the show and how to listen to the show and what's going on.
Okay, so you guys are listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We are on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can get us on Facebook, Just Enough Heshy. Follow us on Twitter, #Just Enough Heshy. And you can see us live on YouTube. You could also email us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Heshy spelled Heshy. You could also call into the show about any questions, comments, or arguments at 718-303-9090. Our advertisers today are Mr. Clean's Dry Cleaning. He does free pickup and delivery, and if you mention the Just Enough Heshy Show, you get 25% off. You can reach him at mrcleandelivers@gmail.com or call him at 347-369-3051. We have the Black Label electronic cigarettes. You can go to blpremiumesig.com or call Mikey at 561-239-5941. We have Shlomo's Schleppers, you know.
I love that.
If
I
you
just
need-
love it.
yeah,
I can't believe you shocked me with that. That's
yeah,
great.
if you need someone, extra pair of strong hands to help you with, cleaning out your basement, your garage, weeding plants, moving a couch, taking out an air conditioner, building a sukkah, whatever it is, these are young boys who will come and help you do whatever it is you can't do on your own. You could reach them at 1-877-SHLEPS, meaning 1-877-745-3779. And you can also get them on their website at shlomoschleppers.com. Schleppers is with a Z.
I love
And then
it.
we have Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, HPD code compliance. They lift stop work orders, and they do free consultation. You can reach them at 718-871-0382.
Wonderful, Esty. What about our horoscope for the day? Come
Come
on, I want to know that because as soon as my birthday is coming up, and matter of fact,
Then I'll read it, no
by the
problem.
way, today is my sister-in-law Eliza's birthday, so I want to read her horoscope.
Okay, so if it's your birthday today, a full moon on your birthday means you will be reminded often over the coming 12 months that what really counts is working with other people. The more you strive to meet others halfway, the more rewards you will have. Enjoy, both financial and emotional. I don't get it. If it's today is your birthday, shouldn't it tell you what's going to happen today, not in 12 months from now?
Well, it's telling you because it's your birthday today, over the next 12 months,
It's going to mean something.
it's going to mean something.
Okay, if you're a Scorpio born from October 24th to November 22nd, the sun in your sign at this time of year gives you heaps of confidence, but because there is also a full moon today, you will need more than a large dose of self-belief. The most important question is, have you learned from past mistakes?
Never. We never learn from
That
it.
doesn't make sense. Because of the full moon today, that's why if you're born in this month, that doesn't make any...
Doesn't make sense. And no wonder you hate to do the horoscope. So, Esty,
Right.
I want to do a little joke with you.
Go for it.
We've been staying away from religion a little bit because we've been scared of it and all our tweets
Really?
and
I
calls.
haven't.
Really? Well,
not
we should
specifically.
talk about it a little bit more then.
Like what?
Here's what I want to tell you. There was an elderly man. He lived in the countryside with his pet dog for company.
Mhm.
A lonely man, an old man. One day the dog died, and he went to his priest, and he said, "Would you please say a mass at some kind of a thing, and for my poor departed pet, and I'd like to bury him and make like a Catholic funeral." And the priest said, "I'm afraid not. we cannot have services for an animal in the church." But he was making fun of the guy. He says, but there are Baptists down the road over there. Go to the Baptists.
Mhm.
So he says, oh, Father, thank you. I'll go right away. Wait, can I ask you a question? He said, yeah. Do you think 5,000 is enough to donate to them for the services? So the priest answers back, oh, my God, sweet Mary, why didn't you tell me the dog was a Catholic? Okay.
That was a good one.
Okay. So anyway.
So yeah, I want to talk about. I don't understand why we were in Washington Sunday. Wanted to go
Before
shopping.
we go, you want to talk to Norman for a minute and tell him where his videos are?
Right after I finish this, like
Okay,
mid-sentence.
Go ahead, Esther. Go ahead.
So yeah, I don't know. Apparently it's mandatory, and they give you a fine if you're open Sundays.
Well, Jersey too, I think.
Why is that okay?
On Sundays, I
and
think
they're trying to improve jobs. These
it's
people,
an old law. I think.
People, yeah, you know what? That's a religious law, which is not fair to implement on other people. And people need that money. That Sunday might be like they're in school all week. Sunday is the day that they can work, and they shut down. But I thought they're trying to increase jobs, and they're taking away jobs on Sunday. What on earth is that? You're supposed to be helping people work.
You're supposed to work 40-hour weeks. Sure, people work overtime and they need the money, but the objective is 40 hours.
So they force them to not. If people need the money, it should not be the government's right to tell us, hey, doesn't matter if you need the money. I want you to have a vacation. That's great. You want me to have a vacation, but I need the work and I need the job to make money to survive. So you're busy telling me I'm supposed to have a luxury when I'm just trying to make necessities?
You never drive through Jersey on a Sunday and see all these big super shopping malls closed?
That makes no sense. Sunday's the day to shop. When are we supposed to shop if not Sunday?
No, Sunday's a Sabbath for
so
million Catholic observers.
So let the Catholic people not go on Sunday.
Why aren't the stores open in your neighborhood on Saturday? Don't you think it's wrong if I want to be
open
on Saturday?
You can. Anybody
can.
No,
you can't. They scream, they holler,
no,
they protest.
What should be is if you don't want to work Sunday, you should have that right. But the store has to close on Sunday? That's not okay.
The community wants the store closed. Otherwise, the community, I'm sure, can override the law. The law is per each borough or state or county or community, and they can override the local legislation laws.
How does one person have a right to dictate what another person is doing?
They voted an official, and the officials are keeping with the laws. If they want a different official or a different
Unless they own the store, they cannot say when the store is open, because I have a right to my own store to open when I feel like it. That's infringing on someone else's right, and they don't have a right to do that. If you are an employee and you have a holiday on Sunday, of course you have to, because you don't want to infringe on the employee. But you cannot say, oh, this is your store, I'm going to tell you what to do. It's my store, it's my right. And if my employees don't want to come on Sunday, don't fire them. Get other employees for Sunday.
But it's interesting that you had the stores closed. Were the gas stations open?
Was I driving? I was.
The gas stations were open.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Then it's okay?
And were there a lot of little Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks open in that area? Food places?
Food places, yes.
I'm sure there's exception to...
They had CVS open for some reason.
Pharmacies have to be open.
I'm sorry. Why is the government getting into our business? I'm so sick of this.
It's not the federal government. It's your local government.
Doesn't matter. Nobody should be infringing on anybody else's right, and everybody's busy telling everybody else what to do. You worry about your own place.
What's your opinion, everybody, on politics, on the election, or anything you want to discuss? 718-303-9090. You got Esther, who's really hyper tonight. Wow, Esther, you are in the mode.
I'm stuck inside.
I got you, baby girl. You are rocking and rolling. I wish you were here yesterday with that other girl.
Me too.
Oh, you guys would really be good.
I was sure I was going to make it.
718-303-9090. You can tweet me at hashtag JustEnoughHeshy, and you can email me at JustEnoughHeshy and ask me any questions. Oh, God.
So, yeah.
I don't even want to tell you what somebody's sending to me right now. Oh, by the way, somebody did text me that the show that we were talking about is Curtis and Ruby. His name is Curtis Lewa. Curtis Lewa, ST, the Guardian Angels leader. I think he's whacked in his brain anyways. ST, we're going to have to take Norman. Norman, we're going to take you for a minute. We want to tell you where your videos are. How are you? I pushed the button.
Oh, no.
Norman, I promise you I pushed the wrong button, Norman. ST, it's your fault, ST.
It's not my fault.
It's your fault, ST. Oh, gosh. Hello, you're on the air. We hung up on Norman by mistake for you. Go ahead. How are you?
Hello?
Yeah,
yes.
Hi. Okay, I would just like to add one thing. I'm not a very talkative person, especially on the radio. But the way you just put it, that the government is infringing on personal issues, you just said it very good. And I just wanted to mention, I was walking down the street once, I saw a license plate that says, "Do it today because tomorrow might be illegal."
Nice. That's
Very
a good
cute,
one.
very fun.
yeah,
But I have a
just wanted to
question
add
for you.
that.
I'm gonna status that.
Hello, you a religious person?
I try to be.
So, Mike, has the government ever infringed on your religious beliefs in any way whatsoever?
No. Yeah.
Hello?
I'm thinking.
Okay, you know that the government doesn't care about your religious beliefs or where you pray or how you pray or where you go to pray. You're right, they're busy with your business, they're busy with the money. Let's be honest with us, we all live together in a community and we need to be able to coexist, and we all have to pay for the garbage, we all have to clean the streets, we all have to help one another. So yeah, the government is involved in our business because they are our partners.
No, they're not. They're our controllers. We are right now practically communism.
Wow.
Okay, it's
wow.
not as bad,
Well,
but
speaking
still.
about communism, I actually come from Russia, so I know a little bit about communism.
And does it feel like it's getting worse and worse? Like originally it was like, yay, America, we're free. Now it's like, you're kind of less free. And then it just keeps going from there.
Right.
So yeah, wait, tell me the quote one more time.
Again,
Yeah.
do it today because tomorrow might be illegal.
Nice.
You are very funny. You're a very cool caller. I like that. Well, thank you so much for your call. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye. That was nice, Esty.
Yeah.
Very cute.
I'm statusing it,
You're
really.
statusing it?
Yeah.
I'm going to see it when you do it.
Just tomorrow.
Call in 718-303-9090. Let's have a good laugh. Talk about anything that you want. But I still disagree with you. I know the government is in our business. I don't know how to stop them. We do need different politicians to come up with new ideas to make people free. But I'll be honest with you. Look at all those Syrians and Muslims and poor people coming from different countries. Their dream, and I was listening to a 60 Minutes
It's like
report.
America, the
Right,
dream, not
America.
so much anymore.
I'm willing to do anything to get to America just to be free instead of living on the street. They're willing to travel a
I
boat.
just met someone in Washington where he said that a month's work in, where was it? I can't remember, but a month's work there is 3 days work here. The same amount of money, and bread costs the same amount. So their rent is 70% of their money. So being here, they're very.
Well, over here, rent is
And
almost.
he won the lottery. He was like, he won the lottery to come to America, so he just flies back, forth. Yeah.
But I want you to know, a lot of people don't understand that a rent over here is also 60,
Albania.
70%. Albania.
Yeah.
Let's take another caller, Esty. Hello, you're on the here with Heshy and Esty. How are you?
Hey, Heshy, this is Larry calling. Larry Brillianchik.
Hello, Larry. How are you? Oh, gosh. How are you?
Heshy, I have one question. Why can't you run for president, Heshy? You're such a genius.
Am I not?
He would be a lot like Trump. Screaming and yelling. No.
I would not scream. Do I scream and yell, Larry?
No, you don't. Heshy, can you run for president? Do me a favor.
Do him a favor.
I don't want to run for president, but I'd like to run for some kind of local office, and maybe we can help our people with the building department violations and help the people with crime and keep guns off the street. Yes, I'm still against guns, and yes, I have no problem with abortion and gay. What about you? What's your opinion on gay marriage?
Gay marriage? I hate it, Heshy. It's disgusting.
Why? It's not your business.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like when I sit in the train and I see gay guys kiss, it makes me sick, Heshy. It's horrible.
Do you
Well,
understand?
honestly, any two people being lovey-dovey to each other is kind of gross. I don't think any of it should be public.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing should be public. It's nobody's business, and they're so busy trying to shove it in our faces. We don't care. Be gay all you want. Just don't tell me about it.
I have a question for you, Larry. If you're saying that, what happens if a black person kisses a white person? Does that disgust you as well?
Any two people.
No. If it's a black guy and a white girl, it's perfect. Or a white boy like me. I love black girls.
So why is that any different than from gay to gay? They are two separate people.
Come on, anybody kissing on the street, it's awkward.
Same sex, the same people, Heshy. What are you talking about?
So just because they're different than us, it bothers you.
Well, that doesn't bother me, but I just think it's gross, you know?
Okay, I love you, Larry. You know I actually love you. You're a good man.
Heshy, I love you too. Your show's the best. Thank you, Heshy, so much.
Thank you so much. I like that. You see, Esty, that's a good caller. You know, a guy is fun, he's happy, he's outgoing, and he wants to, you know, hey, he gave me his opinion on gay marriage.
The gay are so mad that, we're not accepting. It's really difficult. We were raised man and woman, and now it's become acceptable. It's going to take a lot of years for us to just wrap our brains around it. It's just so odd to us that it's not racist. It's just like, wait, what?
I don't know.
It's just like we're just trying trying to like process
I'm going to
it.
bring up homosexuality. You call into the show 718-303-9090. You could talk about anything with us. You're listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show, channel 620 AM dial, and we're on from 7 to 9. And you can listen to us and catch us on YouTube. And where else, Esty?
Twitter, Facebook, email.
Yeah,
So Just Enough
whatever.
Heshy
Right.
at Gmail.
At Gmail, right? You're wonderful, Esty.
Thank you.
I guess we're going to take Norman, right, Esty?
We're gonna take
We're
Norman.
going to take Norman. Norman, how are you tonight, Norman?
I'm fine. I'm always fine.
By the way,
Only
Esty
fine?
and me have your videos. We'd like to know.
I know. I spoke to Joseph, and Joseph lives just maybe 2 minutes away from me.
So we're going to get him to drop it off. Now, if there's anything missing, don't have an attack. You're going to get back most of your stuff.
Well, if some of the stuff is missing, then where is it?
I don't know.
Oh, it just vanished?
Not for me. Mine are all here.
We're gonna see what we put
You gotta be
together.
careful who you lend it out to.
I'm gonna listen. Esty, did you ever watch?
Oh no.
What was the name? Zelig.
Zelig?
I watch Zelig.
Yeah.
Dumb. Woody Allen. Dumb.
Okay, forget it.
Dumb.
Listen, whatever I would recommend, Heshy.
No, incorrect. You see,
listen,
I'm a big movie watcher too.
Listen, first of all, Neil, if you're listening, get better. Stop smoking cigarettes. And you should get in touch with Ralph, and he could tell you how to eat better. So you'll be healthier, you won't be smoking, you'll lose weight, and then we could set you up with a nice
Actually, if
woman.
you quit smoking, you gain weight.
Right.
That's why when I quit, Ralph
was supposed.
of course it is.
Norman, Ralph was supposed to be at our show tonight. He couldn't make it, so he'll be on next week, and we're gonna grab him and we're gonna have a little talk with him. Norman, did you hear the young lady that was on our show yesterday?
Yeah, I like her colorful language. It's very interesting.
Okay, she made a mistake. People make a mistake. We don't use that language on the show.
I know.
Right,
you
but
don't.
the thing is, if you quit smoking, instead of smoking, you eat. That's why I had to go
No,
on a
that's
diet
not
at the
true.
same time.
Esty,
Have you ever
true.
met anybody who quit smoking and ate the same and didn't gain weight? I don't think it's possible.
Yes.
For me, I had to go on a diet at the same time.
Did you stop smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
Este's
and you're not-
3
and-
weeks in already. No, Este?
And don't smoke those electric cigarettes. Just stay away from everything.
I don't.
Listen,
But wait, I'm not quitting permanently. I'm just quitting for like a half a year. But I don't.
Esty, why would you want to put poison in your body?
It's not about
I
poison.
thought cigarettes aren't poison?
It's not that it's first off, sugar is poison. Okay, I'm still eating that.
Esty, please, Esty, you're being ridiculous.
Norman,
you really are.
Norman,
let me say what I want to say.
No, I want you to talk about something substance.
Listen, I want to say something good about you, Hesh.
Oh wow, no,
That hell is
I do. But when I have to criticize you. I have to do it because I can't listen to nonsense. And really, I won't be calling too much anymore. I'm really. First of all, politics sicken me.
Yeah.
And Esty, Esty, I'm going to say this. You're not going to like it. You're a spoiled girl that has a silver spoon in her mouth. You don't know anything about politics. You don't know anything about reality.
I don't know.
And
She
I would
seemed to be
just-
very
I would
knowledgeable tonight.
Wait, listen. I would just like to see you, Esty, without going home for help to your mommy and daddy and to any relative. I'd like to throw you out in the street for 2 weeks.
Why?
And
Why?
live in the
Why would
and
we
wait
do?
a
Why?
second.
Why?
And,
Why? That's
I'm going
wrong.
to tell you why. Heshy, listen. Because I want Esty to understand what it's like to be homeless. And I guarantee you, Esty, after 2 weeks, you say homeless people are out of their minds. You'll be out of your mind too.
Hold on one second. I didn't say homeless people are out of their minds. The homeless people I've met have been getting help, but they're not all there. Not if you're homeless, you're out of your mind.
Esty, you wouldn't be all there either. Let me tell you.
No. I meant the reason. No, the guy I met that was homeless. He wasn't actually homeless. He was on the street asking for money, and he lived in a shelter for crazy people. Like that's what it was. And by the way, Norman, you are completely right. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so to speak. Do you think I love that? Do you know how difficult it is for me to be independent because I'm so used to getting what I want? If you put me on the street, I wouldn't be capable. If I was raised in a poor family, I would be capable. So you know, it's harder for the rich people, for the rich kids to be independent. Hold on, let me
Are
talk.
you crazy?
It's more difficult for the rich kids to be independent because they never had to be before in their life. So for
Wow.
me, it's very difficult. I have a friend, right? She had to work her whole life. Her parents had just enough money. She is becoming a doctor. She went to college. For me, it's like, why would I do that? My parents are supporting me. It is so much more difficult. So I understand that it's difficult to be homeless and it's difficult to not have money, but there is always a way. If I was born poor, I would like to think that I would get a job and do what's necessary to survive.
Wow, very
I
interesting.
think everybody does that to survive.
Everybody, 718
I'm not unfeeling towards poor
303
people.
9090. I guess ST doesn't like poor people.
No, I don't like happy poor people. Sorry, I'm kidding.
Oh gosh,
No, are you
you
kidding
are gonna
me?
get
There
a
are
lot of
so many
calls.
people. You know what? Let's say I was in a crowd where most people were either kicked out of their house, they didn't have where to go. Thank God I had money. My parents gave me enough. I would always share, even if it meant I would have less. If I couldn't, eat as much or whatever, I would buy rather me and my friend food than just me having an expensive
Because you
meal.
know the next meal or the next place you know that you wouldn't have to share. That's the beauty of having money.
What I'm saying is it's not like, oh, you're homeless. Whenever I see a homeless guy, I don't care if he's crazy. I'll still give him money. It doesn't mean I'm not sensitive to the plight. I understand that they have difficult things. I just think because the
How much
government
do you give a homeless guy on the street?
depends if I really think. Like there was one guy, he was outside and I saw him. He was like, I had a job. I'm disabled. And if you know of a job for me, he seemed very normal, very rational. I had a conversation with him. I gave him like everything I was able to give. Like I think I gave him $10. That's what I had in my pocket then.
I never give more than $1.
I don't give more than
Usually
$1 because
quarter.
I can see when the people are off. But this guy just was like, I have a family of kids, and this makes more money than any
Well,
job I can
if
get.
they're collecting money, that means they need money for food. ST, who's sponsoring the show tonight? And let's tell everybody what they're listening to and who they're listening to.
Okay. So the people sponsoring our show, one of them is.
You got to start with the schleppers because I got to have a good laugh. I like that. I like those people.
You want me to start with schleppers?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We have Shlomo Schleppers. They will schlep things for you. They do full moves, landscaping, heavy lifting, garage and basement cleanup. They do handyman work, painting, leaf removal, snow shoveling, basically whatever the professionals can't do. Like, oh, this job's too small for me. They will do it. They will take care of any problem. Like if you're afraid of ladders and you need someone to go to the attic to get you something, they will come by and do it for you, of course, for a fee. So yeah, you can reach them at Shlomo Schleppers, 1-877-745-3779. You could like them on Facebook or visit their website at shlomoschleppers.com. Schleppers with a Z at the end.
Oh, I see. You got to explain it. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're located in Passaic and Brooklyn, but they're expanding.
I hear that.
So yeah, we have Mr. Clean's Dry Cleaning. They do free pickup and delivery. If you mention the Justin F. Heshy show.
He was great. This morning, I want you to know, he texted me, and I didn't even plan him. He says, where's your stuff? Will somebody be in the office? Is it waiting for you there? Boom. I even left something in one of the pockets, a copy of something. He took a picture of it and emailed it to me. Wow. I love Mr. Clean.
Okay. So if you mention our show, you get 25% off. You can reach him at mrcleandelivers@gmail.com or call him at 347-369-3051. We have Green Line Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, HPD, code compliance. They lift stop work orders, and they do free consultation. You can reach them at 718-871-0382. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. We are on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Get us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Just type in Just Enough Heshy, and you'll find us. You can call into the show about anything at 718-303-9090.
So, Esty, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
What's your solution on the homeless issue? Just what is? I mean, you're right. They're no good. They're liars.
Oh no,
They deserve to sleep on the street.
No.
They shouldn't eat. They should die. We shouldn't take care of them.
No, I don't
We
think
shouldn't give
there
them
should be homeless
insurance.
shelters. I think there should be. You're a homeless person. You come to them. Hey, I'm homeless. You find out, are they in fact crazy? And if they are, you set them up in a home. And if they don't want to be there, then that's their problem. If they, in fact, do not have a job, they would come there and they would get you a job and an apartment.
What job for what? $10, $7 an hour?
If they have a family, no. But if you are homeless and the only job you can get is $7, $8 an hour, but you can support yourself, then yes, that is what you have to do.
You're right.
For one person, it's possible. If you have a family, then that's different.
But again, once they're supporting themselves, they have to pay the rent. They have to pay the electricity. They can't now eat. Some people, some of these older people, I've been to their apartments.
Remember my magic city that I was saying? Right. What did I want to do? I wanted to give them jobs and apartments all at once. Do you want to come to my city? Here you go. You get a place to live and you get a job. And that's what they should be doing.
I've been to people's homes. I was helping give out food recently. And there are people that have a can of beans in their locker. And I'm in shock. shocked. That's all they have. Or they have 2 cans of pineapple. And now, thank God, with these special Meals on Wheels, they get this one meal delivered to them that they can preheat in the microwave. If they have a
Delivered to
microwave,
houses,
delivered because you're
so
poor,
they're
you
not
have to get
homeless.
on a list, right? But there are some people who are living in their homes and their apartments, and they have nothing to eat. These old people, they
What I'm
have
saying
no
is the
heat
homeless
even.
shelters aren't doing anything except keep generating homeless. You have to actually fix the problem,
No,
not like
so
put a Band-Aid
what's
on
your
it.
solution?
My solution is that in the homeless shelter, when they get food and they need a place to sleep, there is some sort of documentation. You figure out, okay, what's this person able to do? Are they able to get a job? Can
But
we
some
give
of
them an
them are not
apartment?
educated enough to fill out the forms or to go through the. You know what?
Then you
red
would
tape?
send them to school. And
What school? You're sending a 60-year-old homeless grandmother
who
to
doesn't know how to
school?
read and write?
She knows how to read. Do you know how hard I now help people?
First off, if you are over 60, the government should be making sure you have a home, that they work their lives. Isn't there like a retirement fund?
Social Security.
Social Security.
Yes.
So
What is that?
if you're over 60 and you can't work, that's disability. That's Section 8.
The most you can get on Social Security is $1,200, $1,500, $1,800 maybe
Does that
a
include
month.
an apartment?
No include an apartment.
So they need to include an apartment.
Oh, they need to
the
include an
only
apartment.
people who should be getting paid from the government.
Where do you want to put these people? You're telling me that I can build an apartment next door to your house for these homeless people?
No. The homeless people in New York
should all live in a special gated prison area.
Not a gated prison area. If you are homeless and you can't afford anything, if let's say you're 60 years old, you have no one to support you, you and your husband, or you're all alone, why are you living in New York, the most expensive city?
Oh, let's ship them to Jersey to some farm place.
Not some farm place. You would have a building specifically for older people who cannot work. You would give them food. They can go leave whenever they want, but they cannot expect the government to support them in a fancy city. You want to live, and you're saying you're homeless, you're starving. We will give you a home, not in New York where it's very popular and the rent is crazy expensive. In a place where it's not expensive, we will feed you, we will house you, we will give you activities. Maybe they can sew, make clothing for each other. There could be a community.
Esty, the way you're talking is, and I agree now, I want to ask you a question because Neil is against this. If somebody's very sick and dying, right, and there's a miracle cure for them, but it's very expensive and they don't have the money, should the government pay for that cure for them or not?
What do you mean a miracle cure?
That means there's a pill that will let you live another year. Do we pay for that pill, or only the people who can afford to should get that pill?
This is going to sound really mean, but how old are these people?
75 years old.
The average lifespan back in the day was 30.
So you're telling me that if somebody's sick and old, let him die?
If it's natural causes, you're not killing him.
What natural causes? He has cancer. He has dementia. He has multiple sclerosis. I don't know. I can go down the list of AIDS. He has lung cancer.
He's unlucky.
So he should die.
The government cannot afford to support everyone.
So if I'm 35 years old and I have lung cancer and I can live another year, but with this miracle drug.
Only another year?
Another year.
I don't know if that's... I very much believe that
3 years. 3 years.
That's fine.
Oh, so the government should pay if you can live 3 more years.
What I'm saying is
so there is a
the government. This sounds horrible, but the government should not.
If that pill helps you one more day, you
should
give it to them.
I'm sorry, but it sounds bad. But you're only worth what you contribute to the world. I know that sounds horrible.
Everybody contributes to the world. Are you
okay,
crazy?
That's fine. At some point, when you can, if you live one more day, that's not contributing. And to sacrifice so much, it's basically the sacrificing the needs of the one for the many. If you need to support all of America and this one person will live an extra year, but because of that, 100, who knows how many people will starve because they don't have the money to support the food, I'm sorry, one person does not equal the masses.
That's why we're a community. We used to be independent. Exactly.
Then yes, each community should raise money, but it's not the government's job.
Why do you think we have police? Why do you think we have sanitation? Why do you think we have all these departments?
That's not community,
because
that's government.
When we were living in towns or cities like New York City in the early 1800s or 1700s, there was no building department. There was no organization. And people were doing whatever they want. Garbage on the streets. No transportation.
And these are all necessary. That's why we pay taxes.
So that's why we all get together and we say, you know what, we're going to get a mayor. Yes, we're going to make a president. We want to live together. Otherwise, we don't need to live. Go to an island and live by yourself or live with 20 people separately. There are people who do that. That's why they have communes. They don't want to be together with other people. So I don't know. You are wrong. We're living in a city that we have to help one another.
Okay, but this is what nobody gets. This is what the liberals.
This city has gotten so big that we actually don't care about the guy who lives 10 feet away from us, which is stupid.
This is the problem with liberals. They're so busy making sure that everyone has equal rights. It is not possible. It is not possible that every human being should be taken care of, especially by the government. Every human being can have a circle of friends that can take care of them. If you have no
Why?
friends,
He's
you know
shy.
anybody,
He's shy. He stutters.
then you probably will
He's
not have any
blind.
support. You get support by knowing people. If you make sure to not have any friends, nobody likes you, you're all alone, you cannot expect people to want to go out and save you for another year when you're so closed off from society. I know that sounds bad, but if we take care of every single person, you know what happens? No one gets anything. And that's not fair.
So Esther,
You have a right to make your fortune.
According to the Bible, which 95% of the world holds,
Mhm.
take care of your fellow brother and sister.
Yep.
That doesn't count.
No, of course it does. Take care of your fellow brother and sister. If you don't know this guy, but the government has to pay for them to live one more year, when that 1 more year won't do anything. That entire year, they're going to be sitting in a chair, staring at the walls, doing nothing, almost wishing they were dead. I don't think you should spend millions of dollars to keep one person alive when it can keep lots of people alive for the same price. Is that crazy?
It's crazy.
You sacrifice the one for the many?
You're not sacrificing the one for the many. You're helping the one. That's why we
Instead
go through
of the
these cures.
many. How is that
So
fair?
basically, the people who are researching these cures should never research for the poor, only for the rich people.
No, they should research because having cures is a good thing. And if there's
only
a
for the rich.
What do you mean only for the rich?
And all the
They
poor
shouldn't make it
people
so
who can't
expensive.
But why? They're spending millions of dollars research. They have to get. One minute. You're telling me if you come up with an interesting app that nobody has ever thought about, you're not going to charge people whatever you want to charge?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I will.
Okay.
But how's that the same?
If I can't afford it, I
then
won't be
you
able
can't
to.
have the app because that's a luxury.
So you're only going to have people that can afford your app, a different class of people. You're not going to have all people.
People don't seem to get that a luxury is a luxury. You don't have to have it. You don't get to have luxuries. You have to work for luxuries. You have to have necessities.
And I'm telling you that.
And you know what? Having a miracle drug that'll make you live longer than 30 years old because we used to only live till 30 is a luxury. It's not like, oh, I should live 1,000,000 years and everybody should have to pay to keep me alive.
So my mother is 91 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If she gets very sick, we shouldn't give her the medicine to.
Of course you can, but if nobody can afford it and she has no friends, she has no one taking care of her.
But at the end of the day, say I could afford all this medicine, and then all this medicine that I pay out, I end up with zero at the end of the day. Not only that, I end up with, I have to spend everything. I have to sell my house just so I can live for another 25 years. Now I'm homeless in the street.
Is that a life? Is that even worth your life?
So don't even pay to live because I'm going to be homeless.
Do you want to live that life, homeless?
Again, to live one more day, I'm willing to live it any way possible.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you value life more than me. I don't think one more day will make a difference unless, you do something magical that day. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your choice. Think about this. A person who has nobody, no friends, everybody is gone. The government has to take care of you. Your friends should be taking care of you. Why don't you have friends? Why do you have no one? Why are you all alone in the world?
What do you mean why? There are people that have.
They never met people on the streets. They never went to it. Like that's crazy. The government cannot be everybody's keeper. There's no way. It's just not possible. That's what communist Russia tried to do. What happened? Everybody suffered. So everybody has to suffer for one person? The needs of the many matter more than the needs of the few. Liberals will kill me for this. They'll be like, oh, whatever. It's so easy to say, help everybody, save everybody. It's not possible. It's called being realistic, which is weird on my part.
we have doctors without borders who go to all over the world,
and that's their choice, that's their discretion, but it can't be demanded.
You're telling me countries like Haiti or African poor countries that the people are sick, we shouldn't go give them
we should. You know why? Because they have the chance to live a full life. If they're not 80 trying to live another year, they're 30, they can live another 60 years.
Let's only go to these poor countries and save the young people. The older people, let them rot and die.
No, you should never let people rot and die. But how much you have to make sense. If you only have X amount of food, if you can only choose to save a young person or an older person, who do you choose?
So in the Holocaust, where the Jews were being killed by that Nazi wacko Hitler, who retard, who's burning in hell. So if we had the opportunity to save some young people or old people, one choice or the other, which one would you save? Just save the young people, let the old people burn, right?
You save as many as you can.
We can't save. You can only save either the old or the young.
Then you'd have to choose the young.
Why?
Because if you save an old person, you're saving them. They're going to have, let's say, 5 more years. If you save a young person, you're going to be saving 30 years.
What happens if one of those old people was your grandfather? Your grandfather, who's alive today.
You don't think the adults sacrifice themselves for the children? The children are the future.
No. This guy didn't have any children. He's by himself. It's him or 5 young other people that nobody knows.
I think that the young should have a chance.
Oh, so let your grandfather burn.
I mean, I love my grandfather, and of course I wouldn't want
But he's
that.
an old man.
I understand. So
let him go.
This is not about what I want. I am a human being. It's not about what I want. It's what makes sense. Of course, I'd rather save my grandfather, but is it fair to 5 people who can have young, full lives? They can live till they're 80. This person already got their chance to live. Between getting a few more years for them or a lot of years for children.
Maybe this wise old man can contribute more to teach many other young people if he lives science,
but you know what it
politics.
is? We don't know that. We don't know that keeping this
And
one
you don't
person
know-
alive
and you
will
don't know if
save.
those 5 young kids, keeping them alive would contribute at all to the world. Maybe they'll all be
First off,
gangsters and murderers.
1 versus 5, you have to save the 5. I'm pretty sure that's like everywhere. If you have a choice to kill 5 people or 1 person, you have to choose that 1 person. But if you're going to say 5 older
I'm
people,
saying
5 younger
older
people,
yeah.
I would give them an aptitude test, but that's not possible.
Wow.
I do think that you have to earn the right to live in your world.
Anyways, I want to tell you an interesting story. There was a lady, she won a $12 million jury award. I want you to comment on this.
Okay.
And she said it wasn't nearly enough. She was injured in a Midtown Manhattan steam pipe explosion. And her greed was so costly that instead of padding her winnings, she went back to court and said, hey, $12 million is not enough for this accident. And the judge said, listen, lady, instead of $12 million, I'm taking off $8 million. And this 78-year-old Upper East Side Margaret Kane Award, she lost $8 million, which she claimed was insufficient to begin with, in part because she could not go running anymore. You hear this?
Mm-hmm.
That was her saying. She says, I want more money than the $12 million because I can't go running anymore. Now the retired legal secretary must take another gamble and bet again to see if she can win. So Kane said that she endured multiple injuries after the blast on 41st Street and Lexington Avenue in 2007, and that she thought that she was a terrorist victim. Part of the reason Kane argued for more money was because she thought, in fact, that she was a terrorist victim and that she was injured from doing easy things, and that she said it's not like that she was an amputee. She said that unlike some amputees, she will never run on her leg. Similarly, whatever, and they're saying, but you never ran before, lady. Why are you running now? You know what I mean? They're saying, well, lady, 71 years old or 78 years old, you're not running and you never ran. So
why does she need more? How is
right,
she, what's her
12 million,
lifestyle?
but she was greedy that her lawyers thought that you could push. You have to be very careful on the lawyers you go to, and very
no
careful.
judge would allow that. Judges hate when people want more. Like, it's just like their
Well,
thing.
it's not true. Usually the judges do rule against these guys, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I want to talk like C-sections.
Go ahead.
So apparently, I learned this recently, that if you have a C-section, they are able to get more money. They get, I think for a regular birth, these doctors get maybe $2,000. If they do a C-section, they get $7,000. So every doctor, it's in it for them to have C-sections, which is not better for the women, especially if it's not necessary. I had a friend, knew about this. When he was having a kid, he told the doctor, do not give her a C-section. If you do, I will sue you. And they didn't, but they were going to give her a C-section until he said, I'm going to sue you if you do it, and then they didn't. So you guys, you have to be really careful, because they could be cutting you up for no reason, except for money, which is horrible. Any doctor who does that should be, every single case should be searched to see if they're having a C-section because it's necessary, or because the doctor's making money, and those doctors should be fired. Or it should be equal. You get $7,000 for both, or you get $2,000 for both. The system is crazy.
Anyways, since we're talking about lawyers, you should be calling if you need a good lawyer, especially good somebody to help you with collections or legal advice, and they're very, very good. And I mentioned it a few times. You should call the law offices of Diana Rubinoff. She is wonderful. She is just, I'll be honest with you, if anybody that you need a lawyer that I feel that you can trust, she's just out of this world. And her phone number is 212-603-9334. Diana Rubinoff, Esquire, 212-603-9334. I mean, she brings the law to the people. That's what her saying is. She brings the law to the people. So call her up at her office. Ask for some advice. Tell her the Just Enough Heshy show told you to call. And I'm telling you, I like this one. She's helped me out personally, by the way. 212-603-9334. And she has an in-house accounting firm and so on, so they can do many different things for you. So Esty, that's by something other. Let's get on to what else do we have to go with, Esty, tonight?
There's so much.
There's so much.
Halloween.
Oh my God, no! You're telling me you're going to the Halloween? Somebody was texting on the Facebook thing. A lot of the Jewish kids, they want to do Halloween parties.
It's another day to dress up. If it was up to me, I would dress up in a different costume every day. But that option is only available to me twice a year. You know what I realized? That's so horribly depressing. I'm growing up and I'm running out of costumes. I thought there's so many costumes. How am I going to ever be all of them? And this year, I couldn't think of anything. It's getting worse. And they have to think of more costumes because this is like a year before I'm going around telling everyone, what are you dressing up like? You better find a costume. And adults are like, oh, I'm too old for this. I'm like, no, my mother dresses up. Age doesn't matter.
Your mother dresses up?
Yep, every year. And I'm proud of her because she's not like, oh, I'm too mature and older. She's like, okay, this is a fun holiday. I told my grandmother, be so funny if she dressed up like a schoolgirl. Be so funny. Imagine a grandma dressed like with pigtails and a uniform. That'd be like it. So any grandmas out there, please dress up like a schoolgirl. That would make my year.
Okay.
And send us a picture.
I want to tell you, we had on the show a lawyer who sued the Palestinian government a couple of years ago, and he won a $650 million reward. And right now,
they paid out?
They didn't pay out. They're trying to collect the money and so on.
Of course they can't.
But there's another. He's suing now. He is suing he's representing 20,000 people on whose behalf lawyer Robert Tolchin. He was on our show, and Tassananya, I don't know the other thing, whatever, director of Israeli Law Center, filed suit against Facebook in Brooklyn Supreme Court on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
The 76-page complaint, which seeks an injunction but no damages, states that the plaintiffs, which is Facebook, have been living in these terrorists have been living in the crosshairs of murderer terrorists rampage. It alleges that many of these murderers were motivated by incitement they read on Facebook. Slaughtered the Jews. You ever see that?
I've never seen it on Facebook, but I think it'd be in.
A Facebook spokesman said this lawsuit is without merit and will vigorously defend ourselves. Now listen, Facebook, I don't understand. If somebody like Z didn't put his proper first name, or he put something FNY into his name, you locked him out of Facebook.
No, they did?
Yeah, they did. He had to fight. He had to prove his first name. They didn't believe his name is Zalmi. They gave out. And here Facebook is letting these terrorists or these people to incite other people.
Oh, yeah. I saw on Facebook that they wanted, I sent a message, everyone should shut off their Facebook for 24 hours and protest that they don't let certain things being said, like they don't let Jews say certain things, but they allow the Palestinian to say all these terrorism things. They said I forgot which day it was, that you should deactivate your account for 24 hours. I didn't do it.
Deactivate or not use it?
Deactivate. Like you would shut off your account for one day and then you'd reactivate it.
Can you do that?
Of course you can.
How?
What do you mean? People shut down their Facebook can open it up anytime.
And you get back all your friends?
Yeah, everything's the same. Nothing's changed. You just don't have access until you reactivate it.
Or if you never want to reactivate it, you're out.
Right.
Wow. Okay, fine. Interesting. I think I might do that. Shut off my ISIS for a day.
Your Facebook.
My Facebook. My ISIS. I'm
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Sorry, whenever someone says that, I have to say the other one. Tonight's the night. Gotham and the Mets.
Right. Right now they're playing the World Series, so we might have a lot of our listeners not too happy about doing it. Now, Esty, I want you to know something. And you people think that you can't find buried treasure.
Oh, you could? I really wanted to do that.
So in Athens, Greece, there's a 35-year-old treasure-filled grave of a warrior that was discovered near an ancient palace in Greece. This old grave containing about 1,400 artifacts, including jewelry, gemstones, ivory hilted sword, and they were found this summer by a team headed of the University of Cincinnati.
Why were they digging up bodies?
Well, they weren't digging up bodies. They go on archaeological tours of old grave sites or tombs to see what they can find or dig up.
That's it. I'm digging up bodies.
Well, you can dig up a body in a regular summer. This is a 35-year-old, 100-year-old place that they assume is a holy place. And I don't know why they were allowed to dig it up, but look at all the treasures they found.
That's it. I'm digging up buried bodies.
I think it's wrong because this guy was buried with the treasures to take for him, but I guess
that's not fair. The treasure's the world. You can't just keep it. It's like taking American dollars and ripping it. You can't bury yourself with it. Someone asked me, like, when I die, how I want to be buried.
Yeah.
I don't care at all. I
You
don't
don't
care
care.
if you cremate me, bury me. I'm dead. It's over. I do whatever it is. Sell me for parts.
But according to biblical myth, if you get burnt or not buried properly, you won't be able to come back in the future life.
I don't think, there's restrictions on God, that doesn't seem to make sense. No. What about the Jews who got burned in the gas chambers and they got burnt? They're not in heaven now. That's just not a real thing.
Oh, you mean those Jews? Now that they lost their body, according to Rabbi Mizrahi, since they were bad Jews, God looked away, so they were burnt for punishment, and yeah, they'll never be able to come back.
What? He's saying that the people who died for the Holocaust weren't.
God looked away because most of those people were sinners, and they deserved to die.
Oh, I really hope he's in the next Holocaust. We'll see who's deserves to die. Are you kidding me?
But
they went straight to heaven according to us because they died for their religion. Bad? Oh yeah. What about the greatest rabbis back then? They all died. Oh, I'm sure every rabbi then was bad.
There was some good.
How does he have the chutzpah to say this? This little guy, those rabbis were holier than he could ever think of being. And he's like, oh, they must have done something wrong and that's why they died. Are you kidding me? Hate that guy.
Well,
he's just corrupting so many good minds for. I'm sorry, it's just for like honor or something.
Now I have a question for you, Esther. Okay, now that you finished your ranting about that, crazy. We're gonna stay away from that because we don't want people to scream at us. Esther, you ever heard of Uber?
I did.
Okay, so Uber is a place that you get licensed and you become a TLC guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my neighborhood, there's a lot of people driving around their vans or their cars and not licensed taxi drivers and picking up people and stealing the business of licensed people. Yeah, they have their private little customers they've been selling over the years, but they're not licensed to drive a van with 20 people to go take them as a car. What do you mean, who cares? Why are they allowed these guys to steal business from people who are licensed, who went through the system, who pay taxes?
Why should they have to be licensed or pay taxes? I don't agree with the government.
Taxi drivers that are licensed. So this guy is illegally driving somebody around. If they get hurt, his car insurance won't even cover him.
But the person has insurance.
But since you're driving in an illegal car service, the insurance company won't cover you.
I should hope that each of these people taking this car service has insurance so they can go to their doctor, which they have insurance for.
I got you. They have insurance to get better, but they don't have insurance if they lose a leg or if they can't work anymore.
What type of insurance if you get sick or just fall down on the street?
That's disability insurance. And that doesn't pay as much. If you sue an insurance company like this lady whose leg burnt up in a steam pipe accident, so she sued the government or some company or whatever that was dealing with it. She got herself a $12 million reward. When you're in a car accident, you're suing the guy who hit you, or you're suing your own insurance company. But if you're a passenger in the car, you don't go to your insurance company. You have to sue the insurance company of the car or the building that you're in.
Believe me, there is somebody to sue in those case scenarios.
I don't think so. I know a guy who drives a van in my neighborhood. He calls himself a rabbi, and he's even part of my synagogue. And he drives illegally a van around, and he picks people up all over the place. And I don't understand why people use him. He's actually not paying taxes. He's stealing from the government.
Well, how is he stealing from the government?
What do you mean? I'm sure he's not reporting most of that income because he's not legal to report that income.
Yeah, but I don't think the government should ask for income tax. I think that's wrong. So
he's taking the money. Nobody knows the people he's doing. He's not properly insuring his vehicle.
I'm sorry, I don't find a problem with that.
If he gets in a vehicle and an accident and somebody dies in his car, you're right, it wasn't his fault, or he fell asleep at the wheel and somebody died in his car, the insurance company's going to say, hey, you're not a licensed guy. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, but so the people in the car would have their own insurance.
What insurance do they have?
I don't know. If I get hurt right now, I have insurance.
You have health insurance.
Right. But it doesn't matter what happens to me, how I hurt myself. If I'm sick, they will pay for the doctors. That's the point.
They'll pay for the doctors, but they won't cover your time not working. They won't cover your rent payments. They won't cover your loss of
and if you're in an accident in a licensed taxi, they pay for everything.
You can sue the taxi company.
You can sue them, but they don't pay for everything.
Most likely a good lawyer like Diana Rubinoff.
So I'm sorry they don't have someone to sue.
So you're telling me this guy can run around and endanger people's lives by driving him around?
No, because people know he's not licensed. They're taking their own lives. It's a choice they make.
So 1 minute, that's wrong. So you're telling me?
What do you mean? It's my choice. If I want to drive with a guy who's not licensed, that's my choice. Again,
so
don't infringe.
If a young girl slept with a man and she didn't use protection, she didn't know better. So it's her fault?
Well, how old is this girl?
19.
Well,
She
she
didn't
is an
know.
adult. If she didn't
I
know,
got you.
that's
So,
pretty
so
sad
you're
on her
telling me
part.
she's responsible if somebody went down and
Once you're
drugged her.
18,
Somebody drugged her.
no, then she's not responsible. It's the person who drugged is
So this
responsible.
guy's not telling people, if I get into an accident and I crash, I'm not sure they're covered for you.
Of course they know that.
They don't. What do you mean they know that?
If you're going with someone who's not licensed,
how do they know? He says, listen, this is what I do for a living, and I'm not licensed. And if you get into an injury or you're in my vehicle,
your health insurance will have to pay for it. That makes sense.
not only health insurance, you're not going to be covered whatsoever. And that's why
No, you're covered. You just can't sue anybody.
Uh-huh.
And that's okay. You don't like over here, in Israel, if you sue someone, you have to pay for your lawyer and their lawyer. You know how little suing goes on there?
I don't know.
Here, it's every second person. Do you remember the guy who...
But you know how many people paid for Uber licenses, taxi licenses?
They want to go the honest route? That's okay.
No, so you're telling me this guy who's driving his van all around Borough Park and Flatbush, picking up people, going
he's
to
got
the
to make
airport,
a living.
And other people who are doing this are losing their cars. This guy's doing
They're not losing their customers. There's so many people.
And he's stealing business from people.
He's not stealing business just because he doesn't have an official license. He would be doing this with a license. It's not stealing business. He would just be another licensed driver.
Why do I even need to get a license to drive my car?
To drive your car? Because you have to know how to drive.
I know how to drive.
How do you know that?
I know how to drive. My license expired, or I have 10 tickets for speeding.
Oh, so I think that's stupid. I think, they should not be doing that. If you have 10 tickets for speeding, you can still drive. I get that they want their money, but you don't have a right to threaten me for it.
Why? I have 12 points. They took away my license.
Was it for speeding, crashing? It depends.
I didn't wear my seatbelt. I used my cell phone 7 times.
Well, I'm sorry they're trying to control us that much. Cell phone's fine. Seatbelts, none of their business.
None of their business.
What do you mean? If I want to protect myself, I can wear a seatbelt. If I don't want to, that's my choice. But
so I shouldn't get a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt?
Of course not.
You know how much?
This is a new thing. It was not always. Do you remember back in the day? There was no ticket for seatbelt. It was your own choice.
But the point is, how many lives have been saved? Hundreds of thousands of lives have been saved.
Is that like a fact? It's improving?
Fact. 718-303-9090. We're coming to the last 10 minutes of the show. If you have a comment about these illegal car service drivers or van drivers who are running all over town, I'm telling you, there's one guy in my synagogue there.
But you see how much they're trying to control us.
And he considers himself a rabbi and a holy man, and he's doing illegal stuff.
It's not illegal.
It's illegal.
It's illegal for me to give someone a ride?
It's illegal not for you to give somebody a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he's my friend. He's giving ride. And
if I give her a ride,
as long as you're not charging money and you get into an accident, he can sue your insurance company. But once you make it into a business, that's a problem.
Hold on a second. So if I'm driving my friend and, God forbid we get into an accident, she's insured?
She's insured because she's a passenger in your vehicle.
Right. But since he's not an official taxi, how can they prove that this guy's not just his friend?
So you're going to lie. You're going to commit insurance fraud.
It's not insurance fraud.
Why? That's called insurance fraud. That's why our car insurances go up, because of guys like this who do illegal stuff, people who make fake accidents. Oh, yeah, he was my friend.
Okay, fake accidents is way different than actual accident and just saying, hey, this guy is a friend of mine. He didn't pay me.
If he's doing this, he's doing other criminal stuff.
Okay, then we'll talk about that.
Having, he's doing many other stuff that people don't know about. Cash.
That's not a fact.
So how come he's able to pocket cash in his pocket and not pay taxes?
Anybody who babysits, and most of the jobs they've worked, you don't have to pay taxes.
No, but if you make under a certain amount of money, a babysitter doesn't make that much money to pay taxes.
Neither does a car service.
What are you talking about?
How much does car service make an hour?
Uber could make they guarantee $2,000-$3,000 a week.
No, how much an hour?
I know that this car service guy, I'm just telling you right now, I asked him once, I said, how much do you charge to go upstate and back? He says, $1,300 for the day. So let's calculate this, Esther. It takes 2 hours to drive up, 2 hours to drive back, right? Let's just say 3 hours, that's 6 hours. Another 3 hours to hang out there, 9 hours. He's making $150 an hour to drive a car. Even $100 an hour.
That's only upstate. Over here, they make maybe $6. No, not $6.
They're making $10 on a trip. They do 5 trips an hour.
Around here, it's, let's say, $6 for driving your car service, right? $6. Right. How long does it take? 20 minutes at least each plate? The most they can make is maybe $18 an hour. How much do you think babysitters get paid?
Are you really believe that? That a trip takes 20 minutes for $6? They don't do that. They calculate by the minute.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
I know there's waiting time. I know that
I'm saying is there are a lot of jobs that doesn't pay taxes.
A decent driver can make $200 a day doing a 10-hour shift. That's $20 an hour. And I'm telling you, a great driver can make $100. And all these black cars, the limos, they make much more money. What are you talking about? Uber? You talking about Uber's making 20? I know that Uber now charged me $45 to come from Crown Heights to Borough Park plus tip. That means this guy made in 20 minutes or a half hour $50. He gets one more ride. He made $100 for the hour.
I think there are lots of ways that people make money, and I don't want to say it's legal. They're just not reporting it because the paperwork is crazy.
Okay, but this guy's supposed to be honorable.
I don't know. Another thing, if they want us to pay taxes, they should be providing the accountants. I don't know why we have to pay for that. You want the money, you figure it out.
You're calling 718-303-90. I think we're going to have one more caller we're going to take, SD.
Yeah, I just...
What's bothering you? I think you're wrong. Anyways, we're going to take a phone call right now. I think this is one of your friends. Hello, you're on the air with SD and Uncle Heshy.
Yeah, Heshy and Esty. Earlier, I couldn't call until now. Esty said she wanted to sit on Lincoln's lap in Washington, and I know why. It's because the statue accurately depicts Lincoln as a mellow, laid-back person at peace with himself, but he wasn't at peace with the world. That's why Esty digs Lincoln. That's why
he's my forefather. It's like a father. I would like to sit on his lap.
Because he's at peace with himself, but he's not at peace with the world. That's why everybody digs Lincoln.
Wow.
Isn't it because he was super honest?
Yes, that's a big.
How could a politician be super honest? Like, how has that existed? That's what my question is.
Well, how did he win? How did he win his elections? He took a long walk. He made a famous speech in New York, probably, I guess, in 1860, and he walked all the way up Broadway, a real long walk to Cooper Union, which is still there, to make this speech that made him nationally important. That was a real long walk. He was a guy who could do everything. He could split rails. He could argue, tell jokes. He was funny. He won if he fought somebody. I'll tell you a joke. When he was in the debates with Senator Douglas, he said that Senator Douglas says, I was a bartender. Yeah, but he was my best customer, and they loved it.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Very funny. That was a very good joke. That was very nice.
Yeah, but I get why they don't allow it, because then I guess it would get dirty. But I was just really hoping I would get to do that.
Well, they don't let you climb up the Washington Monument either.
What's the...
From the outside, you didn't see there's a big, tall, skinny little thing made out of bricks.
How could you climb it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way to climb it. I'm sure there's a way to... How do you climb the World Trade Center?
That's fine. It's okay. I have a plan. One day,
yeah,
and I'll be super, super rich.
Right.
I'm just going to get someone to distract the guard and then just, quickly get on top of there. And then just, run away.
And when you take a picture, they're going to catch you. Larry, thank you for your call.
Okay.
How do you like the show tonight? Do you enjoy it? Well, he hung up. Okay, fine. Goodbye, Larry. I don't know, SD. You still, once you have a picture, there's evidence held against you.
Oh, man.
You see?
They can't prove it.
They could prove anything.
That's only if I give them the picture.
Well, once you admit when you put on Facebook on your status, look, I sat in Lincoln's lap. Now, if you crop the picture and you make a fake picture, you can always show proof how you made it fake picture and it never happened. So, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Oh, wow.
The government has all the evidence against you, like you said. I was thinking of your problem. What you do is you go buy a computer from somebody under the table. You know what I mean? One of these black computers, you know what I mean? Like maybe not a stolen computer, but somebody that was throwing away an old computer. Then you hook it up somewhere on the internet, and then you can start researching your bomb thing.
Yeah, but what do you mean? It's not about as far as I know, it's the location. They see where it's streaming from, and then they come get you.
Right, so you go use a Wi-Fi location of somebody's for a couple of minutes, and then you disconnect and you run away, or you go into a cafe.
Ugh, then I have to wear gloves for fingerprints.
Gloves, and you have to wear a mask.
Should I try it, though? Should I just try Googling it to see if the government comes and gets me? I just need to know.
I don't think so.
Because I'm going to be put on their list. We should not be this terrified. Every time I see a cop, I'm like, okay, wait, let me cover my bases. Did I do this? Did I do this? Is this on? It's ridiculous.
I am very terrified.
We shouldn't have to be scared.
Terrified all the time. There was a story in the newspaper the other day. There was a cop that was arrested for he pulled over women, and he said to one woman, "If you let me lick you or lick your feet or something, I'm going to let you go." And she let him do it, and she made a report on him. And then there are 2 or 3 of them. He's sitting a year in jail right now.
God, that's weird.
What weird?
People with feet fetishes freak me out.
But it's not a foot fetish. Somehow this guy was able to become a police officer. How was that possible?
Anybody could become a police officer.
I don't know.
I could become a police officer.
Ex-cop gets a year in jail for asking to lick women's feet.
God, that's weird.
Yeah. And incredibly, the women agreed. He told women he'd let them go if she'd let them lick her feet, and they agreed.
What? I would record that and use it against him.
And then those women reported that, but at the end of the day, he never let them go. He double-crossed them.
What?
Yeah.
Then for
He's a
sure
cop.
they'd report
He's a
them.
cop. They have power.
Yeah, but for sure they'd report them then.
But again, not all cops are bad.
What I know from now on is anytime a cop would pull me over, I haven't done it yet, I will have my phone on record. Like they can't. They tell you to shut it off.
You know what I'm buying now? I'm buying one of these spy cameras to wear on me all the time and record everything that I do.
Everything?
Everything, and then I'll just delete whatever I want.
How are you going to sift through it? It's going to be impossible.
It's 24 hours or
I
every
thought you meant
10
like
hours.
a dash cam. That's a good idea.
A dash cam, yeah, but that could be held against you as well. Anyways, everybody, thank you for listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We'll be back next week, Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can rewatch our show on YouTube. And I want to say my parting quote for the night, SD, okay? And don't make fun of it. And this is a very important one. I do it a lot. I say it a lot in my text. Anyone who does anything to help a child or children in his life is a hero to me. Do you understand? Help a child, help children. You are my hero. The longer you hang in there, the greater the chance that something will happen in your favor. No matter how hard it seems, the longer you persist, the more likely you'll succeed. That's what ST means. Thank everybody. See you next week. Good night.
Advertisement. The opinions and views expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of AM 620 WSNR or its management.